Let's go! Yo! This is a message to all believers. We're not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Yo! Listen. Living in a time where evil's staring in your face. Yeah. Problem situations, tragedies are commonplace. Persecution running rampant, it makes you wanna lose your faith, yeah. But please don't be discouraged, just remember he's the way. Yeah. Let your light shine. So may see the light that lives in me. Gave his son so the world it's in him who should believe. Everybody shout! Even from the mountain, even in the valley low. So I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. Keep it a secret. Gotta let the whole world know. Listen, I get so excited at the mention of his name. Yeah. There's no way that I can hide it. It's written all over my face. So tell me who else would love me after all the wrong I've done. So don't expect me to keep quiet. I'm about to lose control. Yeah.
you. Tell somebody. Tell everybody. We're not ashamed.
If you got a little rhythm, move left to right. A new experience, baby, go hit your stride. Who walking? I'm walking. Who walking? I'm walking. Who walking? I'm walking. Is you walking? And when the groove get good, don't right to left. Shut up, y'all. We got grab the tread. Now who walking? I'm walking. Is you walking? I'm walking. Then stretch. And walk it out like you know what plans you have for me. There's no evil. It's all good things. Lord, I love you. So I will trust you. Here I let my fear die. That's why I'm walking. And my eyes can get it right. Faith will be my guide. And I'll follow the trouble. When I don't understand, I will surrender to your plan for me. Clap your hands, everybody. I said, feet don't fail me now. Joe Jason, you ready? Somebody walk.
You know your plans you have for me. There's no evil. It's all good things. Lord, I love you. I will trust you. So here I let my fear die. That's why I'm walking. And even through the trouble, I don't understand. I'll relinquish all my plans.
Good Lord, open up doors. Took me down a path I ain't never been before. Looking at the road, I don't see a lot of space. Guess I gotta drop my load, cause you're picking up the pace. Don't leave me to die, be by my side. I get a little anxious, please be my guide. I got my feet shot, I've been prepping for the moment I will get the green light. So if you see me, I'm rolling like feet. Don't fail me now.
Trying to tell you like I am. By faith. Oh Lord, I'm walking. Anybody else going? Yeah, say I am. I'm walking. When my eyes can't get it right, will be my guide. I'll follow. When I don't understand, I'll surrender to your plan. For me. Please don't fail me now. I'm walking. Trying to tell you like, ooh, I'm walking. Anybody else going? Yeah, say I am. Can I get a witness?
I'm walking wherever you may lead. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Ooh, yeah.
By faith. Sing. Get grandmama now. Go ahead, get Papa.
Good morning to you. Hey everybody, what's up? Good morning. Yo. Let that beat rap for a minute. Y'all know how we do. Well, happy Monday, happy Moon Day. Happy Monday to you, man. It is a good day. I think it's I haven't done anything yet, so I'm assuming it's a good day, and that's what we do around here. We just kind of talk and say, if it's a good day, it's gonna be a good day, and if you say it's a bad day, it's gonna be a bad day. So I'm waking up this morning declaring it's a good day, it's a good week, it's been a good month, it's gonna be a good month, it's a good year. Good morning to you and yours. Good morning to all the people that's watching with you. Good morning to all the people that you shared this with. Good morning to your family. Good morning. Just good morning to you, man. It's a good week. It's sunny out here. in the Illinois side. Man, I'm telling y'all, I see it right there. A blessed day, a good day. Yeah, man, I even over yourself. I dare you to declare it, even over yourself. That's churchanese right there. We say declare it over yourself. But it's a real thing, man. Make a declaration is to just stand flat-footed and say, this is what it is. And I'm not going to allow nobody to get in my ear today or this week and tell me it's a bad day, it's a bad week. There's a lot of people out here complaining, but thanks be to God that this is the day that the Lord has made. So there's my preacher voice for y'all for today. Hey, y'all, what's up, man? It's Monday, April the 14th, 2025, and like we said, it's a good day. You're locked in with Zeke live in the morning, and this is a great way to start your day. So go ahead, share this with somebody. If you're not subscribed, if you're not following on Facebook or Instagram, please go ahead and do all that. We love it when you get involved in the comments. So just all throughout the live cast, just get involved in the comments. We ain't talking about nothing today. We just talking. Actually, I got some on my mind. Y'all know I don't wake up with nothing on my mind. So I got some stuff on my mind. So we're talking. We just hit some cool topics on today. Of course, my man's Eric Rideout is here. Pastor Rich Holmes will be here a little bit later. But to all of you lock stars that are here with us right now, I just want to say, man, y'all go ahead and make sure you're involved in the comments. Y'all go ahead and let us know that you're here. Let us know that you're around. We want to, we want to hear from you. We want to hear your opinions and your thoughts. So y'all feel free to wear those comments out. Let's see here. All right, cool. Let's do some shout outs. Y'all know I got to do that. But again, if you're not subscribed over on YouTube, if you're not following on Facebook or on Instagram, please do me a favor and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Please do all of that so that you'll know when we get on. Now, I will say this much real quick. We are, I'm streaming on Instagram right now. But Instagram been like being real weird over the course of the last week or so. So like it'll just like randomly cut off in like the beginning of the broadcast. So Instagram, to the people that's over there, which I don't really see nobody over there right now. So but and that could be as a result of it not coming on. So nonetheless, Instagram might go off, it might be on, I don't know. We're still experimenting with Twitch. Twitch has been holding up pretty good, but they're built for that kind of stuff. Instagram is like a whole thing. I got to do it like from my computer and all this. It's just, I don't know. And it doesn't show up over here. So I don't know. We might eventually stop streaming over to Instagram. We might eventually just stop doing that. It'll help not take up so much CPU, I think. And so I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But nonetheless, we are on, we are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. I tell everybody to go to YouTube. We are there on those places. So please definitely follow us over there and subscribe to us. All right, let's do some shout outs real quick. Some good morning shout outs. My Aunt Regina gets first comment of the day. Hey, shout out to my Auntie Regina. First comment of the day. I love you, Auntie. I still owe you that call. Y'all get used to hearing me say that all the time because I don't be remembering to call people. My family know me. They know I get to them. They know I love them. There's my Auntie Regina. And there is Brody Cat telling y'all good morning to the Lock Stars. Now, wait a minute. I got to find. I know she put it in here. I know she did. Where's it at? There it is. The church announcements. There it goes. You know how they always had at the church announcement, like they do the welcome. So I got to read Brody Cat's welcome. She always gives us the welcome. Welcome all. You are locked in with Zeke Live in the morning with host Zeke Lock and co-host Eric Rideout and Richard Holmes. Grab your tea, coffee, or water, and let's ride. My coffee right here. Yeah, I got my coffee right here. So yeah. Shout out to the church announcement, lady. That's the church announcements. And there's our girl right there, Miss Rhonda on the Rocks. Hey, y'all, since I got Rhonda on the Rocks right here, I want to ask y'all a question real quick. I want to take a quick pause right there. If I can find it. Where's it at? Y'all know what I'm about to talk about. Y'all already know what I'm about to talk about. Boom. The Rhonda on the Run challenge with Rhonda on the Rocks. April 1st through April 30th. Are you getting involved with that? It's a good challenge to get involved with. I've been cutting back on the sugar. My wife said she's been cutting back on the sugar as well. I've been trying to get, a hold of my sleep, trying not to, just be up through the middle of the night for no reason. Although last night I was up through the middle of the night. But I fell asleep early. Sundays are rough days for me. So I fall asleep early and then, my body's just not used to getting more than like 4 hours of sleep. So after 4 hours, I wake up and I'm just wide awake. But I did get back to bed right about 3:30 or so. And then, got up for this. So I don't feel, super groggy. We'll see what happens by the end of the live cast. But nonetheless, that's my thing. For you, it might be eating, making healthier choices. It might be getting out, taking a walk. It might be going on a run. It might be hitting the gym. It might be doing any of that. Rhonda on the Run challenge. You want to hashtag Rhonda on the Run and make sure you tag Rhonda on the Rocks. And make sure y'all know, don't forget the H in Rocks at Rhonda on the Rocks. And there's an H in Rocks, RHOCKS. Just like Rhonda. Get it? Rhonda on the Rocks. Dun, 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 dun. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. We smart on a Monday morning. So Rhonda on the Run challenge. Rhonda on the Rocks. My beard hairs are just getting all in my mouth. Oh my God. What happens when you look like Jesus? So make sure y'all get a part of that. It's a good thing to get a part of. My church is also doing a whole thing right now for Holy Week. Y'all know this is Holy Week in the Christian calendar. We've got what do we have coming up on Holy Week? We have, of course, Maundy. Well, yesterday was Palm Sunday, right? Then there's Maundy Thursday, Good Friday. What's the other one? Is it Somber Saturday? What do they call Saturday? It's escaping my head right now. Somebody can correct me in the comments. And then, of course, Sunday, Resurrection Sunday, or Easter, as we know it. So this week, so my church is doing something for Holy Week where we're doing basically just, fasting and taking time of consecration. And that also involves making healthier choices. So I'm not saying Rhonda on the Run is tagged to Holy Week. She's just doing something healthier, making healthier choices and encouraging us to do the same. So, again, I want to encourage y'all to do that. Whether you do it for Holy Week, whether you do it just to make good choices. Now, Rhonda on the Run is a whole month. Ours in my church is just for the week. Rhonda on the Run is for the whole month. But the goal, as she said it, is that you'll make these healthy choices permanent. So join in with that challenge from Rhonda on the Rock. So we definitely want to make sure to say, oh snap, where am I at? I lost the comments. I found it. Definitely want to support our girl Rhonda on the Rocks. And y'all know she be with us twice a week. So, that's y'all know we sit through. No, what do we do? I'm gonna get this right. We clock the T. I keep wanting to say clap the T. And it's because this thing is like a little crab motion. I don't understand. But we clock the T. We clock the T with Rhonda on the Rocks. And so we clocking with I was looking for a rhyme with that. Rhonda on the Rocks where we do the clocks. Maybe I don't know. That was stupid. Forget I said it. Shout out to my girl Linda. What's up, Linda? HP in the house. Kankakee in the house. K3, the 944. Let's go. Let's go. When I said the 944, there's only people in Hopkins Park understand what that means when I say the 944. And then my dude, my boy, my guy, Smith Baptiste. I thought I was going to see you this weekend, Smith, but I missed you. I missed you. You and your beautiful wife, by Anchor. Y'all get it, baby. Some love for me. Yeah. Shout out to Janine, a.k.a. Piglet. Good morning to you. That's my girl. Shout out, yo. Love you. Glad you here with us, yo. And then my dude, DJ Red. So I did see him on, when did I see him? Saturday. Was that Saturday? Saturday we were together. And we talked about it. We said we just got to plan the time. So we're going to do a DJ day. Matter of fact, I'm going to get JR on. Oh, JR. I was supposed to call him back on Friday. He did call me. I was waiting on his call. And then, okay, wait. All right, cool. I'm going to get both of y'all involved. We're going to have like a house party or something like that. Now, wait a minute. Rhonda said I got 149 subscribers. I got to go look that up. I don't be paying attention because I done promised a concert when I hit 100. Now, I do have another page, Zeke Newx on Facebook. I don't know the login information on that one. I'm not on Facebook. I'm sorry, on YouTube. I don't know a lot. And that one has like 100 something odd subscribers. Like, yeah. But I'm trying to get to 100 on this YouTube page. But hold on, let me see my stuff. Let's see where we at. I don't know how to. Okay, we still working our way. We still working our way on the Zeke Locke'd page. We still working our way. But we are over 100 on the other page. But the Zeke Locke'd page, once it hits 100, oh, wait, hold on a second. Let's put this up here. Once it hits 100, I'm doing a pop-up concert. I'm telling you, I'm going to give some new music. I'm going to let y'all hear some of the stuff. It's only for, though, like people who are subscribed or who are lock stars themselves. I'm going to do one once we hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. I'm promising it. That's what we're going to do. But check this out right here. So we were talking about the Rhonda on the Run challenge. And here's Rhonda on the Rock. She said, hey, yes, Rhonda on the Run raffle is tomorrow. So, y'all, make sure you're getting involved in that challenge. There's a raffle that's going on tomorrow. I feel like every word that Rhonda uses that has an R in it is supposed to have an H. Like, I just feel like it's supposed to be raffle. RHAFFLE. Like, I don't know. I just be putting random H's now. Like, random. RHANDOM. Like, man, yeah. Let's see here. So, Brony Cat says she's struggling today. Had 3 services, wasn't able to get almost. Oh my Lord. Yeah, church will wear you out, bro. And church will wear you out if you're not careful. Woo. Church folks, y'all know that the real ones know. And there's our dude Eric. Our dude Eric Ride Out. He's gonna be on with us in just a moment here. Actually, we're gonna get him up to the stage in just 1 minute here. But before we get him up, y'all please make sure that y'all go and give some hearts and some love to Mama JP Ride Out. That's Eric's mama. I told y'all every time, every day, this is one of the mothers of the show. And when I say mothers of the show, I don't mean like mothers on the front row of the church, like the old lady mothers. I mean the literal mothers of the show, the ones who birthed the host of this show. That's one of the mothers who birthed a host of this show. So y'all got to give her love every time. She told us last week we had a phenomenal broadcast. Like she closes out, Brony Cat gives us a morning announcement, and then Mama JP Ride Out gives us the prayer of confirmation that we had a good show. And she told us it was phenomenal last week. So I know we was doing something right. I know it. Yeah. Now here's a good one right here. A Bronya wants y'all to know, that's Brony Cat over on the YouTube side. She says, please let Zeke know if you're a first-time listener. Yeah. Absolutely. Like, because we got a lot of folks who just be with us every day, and that ain't nothing wrong with that. But definitely, man, if you're a first-time listener, let us know. Shout out to Sophia down in Naptown. What's up, girl? How you feeling? Good to see you on today. And there's our dude, the one and only Mr. John Johnson, Freedom Lighting from Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to John Johnson. My bro. We love you, dude. How you feeling? Here's my dude, Will Chapman. Listen, he was with us on Friday. He was our guest on Friday. I want to encourage you to go back and watch that episode with him as he talked about the work he does with as he talks about the work that he does with Y-Men, Young Men's Educational Network, and the stuff that he does in community and all of that. So we were on the show on Friday, and that was, no cap, one of my favorite episodes, because I just love seeing my friend. I say that about all the episodes, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased to all my friends, but it was such a good episode. Like, I encourage you to go back and watch that. We had some really awesome conversation. And then I saw him on Saturday morning. We went to a breakfast at one of the sites for the Community Healing Resource Center Network. So we went out there on the west side, and we was together, and he was definitely, he was definitely there. And then he ended up being a speaker. Some kind of way I ended up, shout out to Miss Maisel, some kind of way I ended up being the keynote speaker. Like, literally, I was not going out there, but I was in sweats. I was not planning for that at all. And then that ended up happening. I think I had on some jeans. But yeah. But nonetheless, I wasn't ready for that. Like, that wasn't what I was going for. I was just going to breakfast. And then I had Will come up and say some words, and then he had like a fan club around him. So, you know, Mama JP Ride Out, they want you to know good morning. They saying good morning to you. Shout out to Sophia Rivers. She just subscribed over on the YouTube side. Boom, we just hit 60 then. If you just subscribed, that means we just hit 60. That's what that means, because I just saw 59. So, so we either at 60 or 59. I don't know. I'm gonna quit checking. Yeah, look at that. Random raffles. There it is right there. RH. All good. Y'all do us a favor, y'all. Please do us a favor. Everybody, please share. Definitely please share. Please share this. Please share this up on the Facebook side. All of that. All the things. Let's do this, y'all. Let's get my man's Eric Ride Out to the stage as he's up on the comment screen right there, letting y'all know to share. But yeah, definitely. That's what makes this thing go. I tell y'all, I'm excited. I enjoy doing this. It's always a good time to be on here in the morning with y'all, and I hope y'all really getting something out of it. Now let me say this before I bring Eric to the stage. I do really, honestly, in my heart of hearts, hope that y'all are getting something out of this morning live cast. Like, you know. And so, you know, I know some of y'all are. Y'all tell me you are. But there's others who I know a lot of times listening and maybe not necessarily able to be in the comments. And ain't nothing wrong with that either. There's nothing wrong with that either, you know. But it's just good to know when you're doing something that's bringing people light and joy, and you're just spreading love. And that's really all this is about, man. We wake up to so many things. I woke up this morning, the news was on, and I didn't even listen to what it was. It was just, I don't know. The news just in the morning just sometimes feels a little hostile, just feels like they just inflicted fear on you and all the problems of the world. And so this is the alternative. I'll catch up with the news later. It ain't going nowhere. You know, it ain't going to affect necessarily my day. And if it does, then they'll put it in breaking news and they'll send it across Google. So this is how I like to start my day. And I hope y'all are getting something out of it as well. Out of this. All right, let's do this. Let's bring my man's Eric Ride Out to the stage, but let's bring him up the right way. Let's see what we're gonna bring Eric up to. Let's bring Eric up to this one right here. Smooth Monday. Yeah, on for Smooth Monday. Y'all do a favor, put some hearts, put some love. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend. Here comes the one and only Mr. Eric Ride Out.
What's going on?
What's Crack-a-Laggy E?
That is one of my favorite songs. So on the project, I play that every day.
Man.
Woke up with that. Scratchy. You know, not a cold or something. It's just like real scratchy. Like it's tickle or something.
No, I get it.
Everybody had a good weekend.
I had that same thing yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Let me get one more shout out real quick, because this just came across. Elder Will Johnson from APC Morgan Park. My brother, my homie, my friend, my fellow co-laborer in the Lord. Shout out. Now I got a click in my throat. Hold on. Don't be giving me no clicks in the throat. Eat like pause.
Right. So, hold on. Big pause on that.
Yo.
Man.
How was your weekend though, bro?
It was great. You know, this weekend, man, I was at the church I attend, right? Yeah. And I don't know if you've been a Family Christian Center church once before. I'm gonna have to send you the production.
Are you going to Family Christian Center?
My daughter loves it over there, so I've been going over there with her. And
I didn't even know.
Oh,
I didn't even know.
And the thing about it, wait, could you hear that? Dang. I thought I had found
Still trying them sound effects. I think we got to get a switcher board. We're gonna as we get more sponsors, we'll be able to like actually do the stuff to actually produce the show at a higher level. Heck, if I know, a good one costs some dollars. When I get one, I want to get a good one. I don't want to be trying to buy one and then have to go back and get another one.
Get another one to replace that one.
Yeah.
But the weekend was good, man. They had a whole production, like you said, Holy Week in a Christian church.
Oh, that's right.
And I'll send it to you. And you know that the church there, man, they do so many plays, and like they had Jesus come to the sanctuary on a donkey yesterday, and people was dressed. I'm gonna have to share the clips, but when I say it was a big production, it was crazy, man. So that was that. Saturday was real laid back working on these tours we got coming up. The events coming up. Man, there's so much to do. I tell people who say they want to do this, man, make sure you're right. You know what you're doing. You have some sense of organization. Because if you're not organized, you'll be out.
Let me throw a couple more shout outs in here.
Go ahead.
And Mar, what's up, girl? Kankakee in the house. I got to put True Hood on there. He says, yo, but he also says $500 for a good startup board. So, a good startup for a board. So there we go. Okay, so yeah, $500. So they're not terrible, but you know, it ain't. I don't want to get like a little $50 joint and then have to replace it 3 more times, and then before I finally get the one that costs $500, by that time I done spent at least $800. You know, like
when you could have had it,
but I could have just got it for $5. Yeah. So, and then my girl, my friend, my homie, Demisha. What's up, Demisha? I'm so glad to see you on here this morning. She sent me. We were together at the Live Free event last time I saw her. We were together on Thursday. This right here is one of the most stylish people. You probably need to meet Demisha so that you can introduce her to some celebrity friends.
She's a stylish person.
She's so stylish, so stylish.
She's a female Devaris.
Yeah. She got that game together, man. She got game. So shout out to Demisha. So yeah, man. You know what? You said you go to Family Christian Center. So I kid you not, dude. I was at Food for Less in Hammond. Like maybe 2 weeks ago. Matter of fact, no, my parents were here. It was when my parents were here. So I was at Food for Less in Hammond, stopped by the store to grab something. And there was a dude out there who was selling his book. Like he was selling, like he was doing like selling candy, doing like a fundraiser kind of a thing and selling his book. And he said he wrote like a good book. And all that kind of stuff. Anyways, he went to Family Christian Center. And so, he was a really nice brother, just a good dude. He seemed like he was, wasn't on nothing crazy, and I just got to talking with him, spoke up a conversation. I forgot his name, and I got his information actually, because I told him, I was like, man, I got this morning show. I want to have you on. Your book sounds like it's actually a good book, telling this story and all that stuff. So yeah, I have to meet him. But since you've been going to Family Christian Center, I have to make sure y'all connect with each other. And,
Yeah, man, I've been visiting. I first start visiting over there with my daughter.
Yeah, sure.
But how you visit somewhere, and it's like, man, I like it over here. It's different. It's a good ministry and all that good stuff, man. Now, what I will say, I don't know if you saw this weekend. Have you been watching anything online about Coachella weekend?
Not really. I just seen all the traffic, of course, getting into Coachella. And people were like really mad about like all the traffic, like waiting like 7 hours to get in or something like that. Like,
but what I heard
on one stretch of highway
this past weekend, what I heard was that they're saying that Lady Gaga had a better performance than Beyonce did when she did her big thing in Coachella. They said it was way better. I saw some clips, something like that. But I did see Missy Elliott, which was, it was crazy.
Oh, Missy did. I don't even know what the lineup
came
was.
She came out like as a transformer on the stage, changed from a robot-looking spaceship thing to.
I love stuff like that.
She was so creative.
I love stuff like that. Like you know what? I wish more gospel music had stuff like that. Because I think that's an argument that could probably be made. Like, I'm not a Lady Gaga fan of her music like that. But as an artist, one of the most creative artists, we've ever had. So I can see her going real hard to paint at Coachella. You know what I mean? The same way Beyonce would have. I think just different creativity is different creativity. You know what I'm saying?
It's different.
But Missy Elliott is different. I wish we had more of that in gospel music. I wish we had more of that. Like, you get crucified, you do too much. You go too far, they'd be, they don't even take all that. We're supposed to be here just to worship the Lord. You're like, nah, we're doing music. This is a show.
Yeah,
like,
and people say that, but that's crazy to me. It reminds me of what I saw Tank, the R&B singer, was saying how when he was in his gospel group, he said he went to an Immature concert. He said, look at these little kids packing out in the arena. So he said he tried to take that back to the church. He said he had dancers and lights and smoke. He said the church stopped using him because he started blowing their power at the church. They couldn't handle the production. But he said he felt that too, that why the things of God have to be mediocre. He said, and the truth that the church, the believers say they have, why does the church have to look so, keyboard, bass, drums, or keyboard, or not even that, organ, drums, and bass, 3 microphones, everybody huddled around, and they expect. That's why I love when I go out on like I did the shows with Kirk.
Yeah.
And things with Fred. People who say, no, we're going to do the lights, we're going to do the whole scenes with the backdrops and the buildings and all that kind of stuff. I think gospel could be there, man. I just think that people got to get outside of that mindset of you do too much now of the world or you carnal. I don't agree with none of that.
Yeah, no. It's creativity. Like, creativity is just creativity. Like, just express, have fun, show them something in your creativity might help open up the story a little bit better for somebody else who needs to see it that way. But you just cut all them off so that you can just shout, dance, and have a good time, like just listening to some music. And it don't even be, okay. Let me stop trashing everybody because everybody saying something about me. I don't feel like arguing with people. But I'm still gonna say But I was gonna say we don't put no investment in stuff. Like, we don't put the type of investment in the stuff to make our stuff work. So, for instance, just this. I ain't gonna say who it was. I'm just gonna say a well-known Chicago choir. Got a concert that's coming up on the same day as, or somewhere around the same time as when Fred and all them are coming, and Donald and everybody. And then there's another big major concert. There's 2 major concerts that are going on Mother's Day with major artists in Chicago, and both of them look like they selling very well. So of course, I was mentioning something about it, and somebody was asking me a question. This was Thursday while we was at the state capitol, and somebody who watches my show, was asking me something about the Mother's Day show that we had been talking about and the artists that are coming. There was another lady that was in front of us, and she turned around and she said, well, how come y'all don't ever talk about this particular choir? I was about to say it. I said, I ain't go. No, you know what? I can say it. She said the Chicago Mass Choir. So, because we'll give some love. Chicago Mass Choir got something coming up, right? They got something coming up. This is not a knock at all to Chicago Mass. So don't y'all go back trying to tag me I was talking about the Chicago Mass Choir, because I'm not. I'm talking about the gospel music in general, and this is just a subject of conversation of how it came up. So nonetheless, she said, well, how come y'all don't support your own? Ain't nobody supporting their own. They're not going to show up to that concert. I was like, y'all one of the major choirs in Chicago, and I didn't even know about that concert. I was like, I didn't even know about it. And nobody else around it. I was like, we got to invest better in things like advertising. We just depend on word of mouth. We just want friends to just
local people.
She said Chicago ain't gonna turn out. I was like, well, we ain't gonna turn out to something we don't know about.
Chicago won't turn out if they don't want to. And for me,
but if you don't know about it, as well,
if you don't know about it, you can't talk about it. Like, I know things that happen with Fred because I'm part of the team or part of the show, but those promoters that's doing that are doing things on secular radio. They're secular promoters, so they're not just putting out stuff on social media. They're on the GCI and B103 and they're advertising where people can know about this. You can't get mad at us for not knowing. What's up, Megan Matthews from
Matthews? What's
Milwaukee.
up? What's up?
And the funny thing about her family comes from her dad, and people were part of a historic quartet gospel group called the Supreme Angels. So her dad
Supreme Angels.
Her dad
Milwaukee Megan Matthews. Triple M.
Sure is. Yeah. And people,
Brenda Rose. That's your cousin.
Good morning, Brenda Rose. So people shouldn't feel like we don't. I try. If you go to my social media, I try to support everybody and stuff. But if we don't know about it, we don't know about it. That's what it is.
And you know what made me start thinking that way was even when we was on tour before. We talking Fred, Donnie, Take 6, all of them, and we got to a bunch of cities where people didn't even know that show was coming through town. And it was like, and that's what made me first realize, like, oh snap! Like, just in gospel in general, we don't promote like we should. Even when a show is done by a promoter, it still don't hit like advertising.
You need to have the right promoter, like a Live Nation or like an ALW. Like Al Wash is the one doing this with him and Urban Vibe Entertainment.
But look how long out they.
Alvin out.
True. But look how far out they advertise. I mean, that's advertising budgets go in, and months on months before the show ever comes around, they've already planned it, plotted it out, started advertising. So it's in your
Kirk
site.
In a reunion.
Sometimes a year. Yeah.
Kirk
But we do a show.
And put a flyer out the same week.
We'll put a flyer out like, a month early, and then expect the house to pack out. And then when it don't pack out, then we'd be like, Chicago didn't support. We're like, out of 9 million people in this Chicago land area, you think that 1 week on Facebook fly?
Or people always say that, or they say, well, like you said, Chicago don't come. They don't buy tickets. Well, this person's show sold out over here. So the tickets are bought. So it could be, and it's not the Chicago mass before y'all kill me, because some of y'all follow me, the leaders and everything. I'm not talking about you when I say this. But what I'm saying is, maybe they just didn't want to come to your show. That's really the truth of the matter. That sometimes people just don't want to come. And that's okay. Those that came are the ones that God wanted to hear what you had to say.
Yeah.
Or 15 people.
Or what if we go back? I got to shout out JR right here. I was just talking about him. Now he logged in. Shout out JR. I was just talking about him just right before he logged in. But or maybe like, as we was talking about earlier, it ain't a lot of creativity in the gospel realm. And a lot of our churches are done a lot of our concerts are done in churches, which means that there's kind of a limit on creativity that you can do anyways, because I roll
in certain things in certain churches, burn it up.
Exactly.
That's why most of our tours, like Kurt and like Fred's tours, we only do theaters and arenas, man. And it's not that the small churches or the local churches don't deserve it. It's that what people do is people see, like, let's use Ty Trippett, for example. People see Ty performance with lights and keyboards bobbing up and down, and people say, bring that to my church. But then when you tell them how much it costs to get that at the church, this is ministry. You all the time. Get up out of here. That production, his production alone is almost $20K, and that's cheap for production if you really think about it. But his production costs almost $20,000 on top of the fee. So people look at it and say, well, man, that's a lot of money. But you want what you see on the videos, you want that same experience. If you go to see, if people want to see Michael Jackson's prime, he had him, a keyboard player, a bass player, and a drummer on the stage, and one microphone to him. People are like, yeah, it was good. But they went to his shows because it was going to be
because they wanted to see the show. They wanted to see Michael come out on a string and fly over the thing. They wanted to see him on that crane and stand up there and go. And they wanted that. They want the lights.
They want $1 million. Church can't want $50,000, $500,000, $1 million concerts on a $3,000 budget. Not going to happen.
$3,000, you're doing good. Most churches, if you get $1,000 on the budget,
the highest they'll give you, most churches, they'll say $1,500. Maybe they're doing. They're gonna give you $15,000. No, that's not it. And you guys have to understand, people that book these people, because people, gospel artists need to understand that everything is not for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I get that.
But it's just the name of the game, though, bro.
It's the name of the game,
and folks don't understand that part,
Local artists get mad and say, well, y'all are going to support Kirk. Well, Kirk brings a show. Kirk Franklin tickets go on sale within 2 days. They sold out. We just did a reunion tour. We sold out 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 seats a night, every day. It's possible to do it, but you have to have it. It's got to be something that church people are more difficult than secular guys.
Church people,
you got to give us lunch. We don't want to spend it.
Yeah, but here's the other side of it. We act like it ain't a show. So I will be one, and I'll argue this down with everybody. Gospel is a show. I don't care what y'all say. It's a show. It's a show. It's not to say that God can't move in the show. That's not to say that the Holy Spirit can't get glory. That's not to say that there can't be deliverance that happens. That is not to say none of that. It's simply to say, people, if I go out on a Friday night and I done bought a $60 ticket, I want a show. Even if I bought a $20 ticket, like I want a show, entertainment. This is Friday night. I done brought my wife. I done brought, if you dating, maybe you brought somebody with you. You going. I don't want to just go sit in another church service. And you know who first opened my eyes to this? We talk about Fred a lot on here, but like having conversations like this with Fred really did help shift my thinking. That first tour, I never slept on the bunk on my bed. I mean on the bus. I never slept in my bunk when I had that sprained ankle. I was always out in the front area. So there was a lot of days where Fred would just be up. It'd be like the middle of the night or like super early in the morning. We traveling. Everybody else is in their bunk sleep. And it'll just be me and Fred in that front area just talking. And that was one of the things that he said. He said, gospel music ain't got the show. Don't be scared of the show. Gospel music doesn't bring like that. It's just like a church service. You go to a church and watch what do you call it? He said the turn up factor. He said it's not, we don't got that turn up factor. So we were on tour that particular year, the same time Jay-Z and Beyonce went on tour. And like there were a couple cities where we kind of overlapped with their tour. And so, like there were people, and Fred said it, he was like, there's people who are right now getting dressed, they getting limousines and party buses, they getting together with their girls, they getting their outfit on, they going to the arena or wherever the concert is. And like an hour before Beyonce even comes out, or like they don't before the show even starts, they done already had a turn up. There's a DJ, they got drinks. It's like Beyonce is the add-on by the time you get there. He said like it's such another element of what's happening at that show. And he said, but when you come to a gospel concert, like literally you just go to a church, 9 times out of 10 it's at a church. You go sit in the church, which you just left from on Sunday, or if it's a Friday or Saturday, you're going to be back at a church on that Sunday. So basically, you're paying money to go to another church service. Even on a concert, we're opening a gospel concert up with praise and worship. I seen Donald Lawrence post this one time. We said, I never understood why gospel concerts start off with praise and worship. Isn't the whole concert basically just praise and worship? Like, you need praise and worship to get you into the praise and worship. See, it's just because all we can think about is church. Yeah, all we can think about is church. So we in church, you're supposed to start off with a scripture, with praise and worship and all that. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with doing that stuff if that's what you're aiming to do. But if you want to give me a show, I don't need somebody to come out and do praise and worship. I'll turn them lights down, put something on the screen, give me like some big cinematic coming to the stage. I want all of that. Give me the show. And then let it be something that's clean and holy and good, because everybody, we, contrary to popular belief, Christians, we like entertainment, and we don't always want to see booty shaking. Like sometimes we want to just hear something talking about the Lord. And just entertain me while you do it. Go ahead.
And it's foolish to don't think we do like entertainment. Mm-hmm. I don't want to go to a concert and be bored and all of this. Something else too, man, that I was thinking about. Is that, like we said, the church, people want so much for so little, and then they feel like these artists don't respect God. They charging an arm and a leg, and they, my church can't have, my little church can't have that big production. No, you can't. Let's be practical. You can't have it because number one, your church can't accommodate
that part. You
can't accommodate. You can't. If Fred, we take one of our whole shows with our backline and plug them to the wall at your church burn it down. You can't handle what we're bringing. Think about it. Mm-hmm. You've seen it. It reminds me when I was in Minnesota and the Rolling Stones were in town. And they were talking about the Rolling Stones on the news. And they said, the Rolling Stones have enough power amps with their show to power the city of St. Paul, Minnesota for a week. That's great.
Wow.
Yeah, they have enough power to power an entire city for a week. Off half of their equipment, not the whole setup, just half of the power amps they use can power an entire city. And and I watched people, because when I lived in Minnesota, I could see the arena wasn't too far, and you would see lines of people to get in there to see Mick Jagger in his 70s gyrate and hump around the stage. And you know what? They give a show up.
They give a show.
So gospel people, look, those of us in the gospel arena, stop getting mad because you're not doing Beyonce numbers and all that kind of stuff, or stop comparing, and then stop comparing yourself to each other. And most of them compared to everybody go over here to see Fred. Everybody go over here to see Kurt. Everybody, you're not them.
Right. Plus, you just made a choice for what you wanted to see. And like, that's like Texas Roadhouse getting mad because everybody decided to go to, I don't know, Outback Steakhouse. Like getting mad at Outback Steakhouse or getting mad at the customers. See, y'all going over there to Outback. No, Outback Steakhouse just had something that I wanted. And Texas Roadhouse didn't have it. And that's okay. Y'all sell some of the same stuff, but I wanted Outback today as opposed to Texas Roadhouse. I've been to Texas Roadhouse. I want to go to Outback. Like, you know what I mean?
And like, it's the thing too. People don't get to, just like what let's say when LXW was out, everybody was booking LXW, and other choirs in the city were getting mad. And it wasn't that LXW was saying they were better. It's just it was something different that the people wanted. That's it. When you bring something different. Ty Tribbett was someone that came out and people went crazy. Why? It wasn't that Ty was the best singer, not knocking him, that's my brother, or his group, but he brought something different. He brought something that people could look at and say, we haven't seen this like this before.
Yeah.
That's what people don't get, man. Sometimes it's having that, like Fredo said, it's that it factor that some people have. And then, and then you all say, well, all these artists like, I'm being my bag. People like
talking about food. I was talking about food, and that Neil. That's my brother and my college roommate. I still call him my roommate.
It's funny he said that
like 3 years.
And whoever did this to me, your mama. I'm just telling you up front before I say it. Somebody on Facebook added me to the Big Back Room. I get up and says you are now a member of the Big Back Room. I'm like, the Big Back Room.
What's the Big Back Room?
It's literally what it says, a room with big backs. And I saw that.
That sound like a brothel.
No, it's a bunch of people who didn't watch. They ate me. I'm like, okay, whoever did this, I don't know who did it. So if you're watching today, you're mom. So, but no.
Yeah, I love this right here. What JR said. No. Before you go back into your thing, because I think it's getting into what you were saying. JR said church folks pay big money on brunch, but expect concerts, revivals, and events that edify to be free. And
it's stupid to feel that way, and some people do that way because you have to think. And I use Fred because I road manage his stuff, so I use him as an example. When we come to people's cities, man, it's not just him. He got bands. You got band members who are married with families. You got singers with families and wives and bills. Fred got bills, it's expenses. You got a whole team. So you have to, and these people go out with you, and then somebody will turn around and say, well, can you just take less people? No. Can you cut down the band? Cutting down the band and singers, people still complain. If we don't take 6 singers out, he'll say, okay, let's take 3 singers, 3 musicians, myself. And somebody said, oh, can you shave a little bit off? I don't shave nothing off. That's why I respect certain managers like Kelvin Leach, who manages the time. Kelvin would tell you in the heartbeat, but this is what we cost. We ain't got that. He's like, okay, I understand. So,
this ain't the time for you to get this.
This ain't the time for you to have us. And he said, I don't feel bad because he said, at the end of the day, my job is to look out for this man's income. It's the whole, people understand. They just see the front man. You see Todd Delaney, but you don't see Todd's band is connected to Todd. Todd's singers are connected to Todd. And Todd got kids and a wife and a home and all. It's expenses out here.
And they're not even bringing bells and whistles like all the stuff that we want to see, like pyrotechnics and all this other. They ain't bringing none of that,
man. They not bringing that. That's just a church thing, and people still feel like I'm being cheated. You're charging too much. Well, you know what? But the same people go spend $2,000 ticket to see Beyonce do her thing. Well, that's Beyonce. You don't make that's the world. This is the church. So what? Ooh, church people have bills. I tell pastors all the time who tell me that mess. Well, this costs too much. Well, pastor, how about this? You just don't take a salary for a few days. Do you want us? I say, what if your church can you say, let's cut your salary back? No, I'm preaching the word. Same thing in music. So get up out of here.
Yeah.
Trash.
Or how about this one? I'm gonna piss off a bunch of pastors real quick. And y'all can tag them in this one, I guess. Y'all can tell them I said it. But how about the churches? And this is common in Black church. So this common in Black church. So I know most of us have had this experience. We've been in a black church. We will definitely say stuff like, sow your seed. Y'all ever heard that language? Sow your seed. Like if you ever grew up in church, you've heard that a whole lot. Sow your seed. This is fertile ground. All the stuff about fertile ground.
I will reward you openly for the things you do.
And be a blessing to and all that stuff like that. And God's gonna do it, and all these other things like that. And then as soon as you get hit with a price tag, instead of seeing it as, all right, go ahead and sow your seed into that fertile, good ground. Clearly it's fertile and good ground, that artist, because you want them at your church. So clearly you see something in it. So they tell you how much the seed costs to plant it. And what's the thing they do? Wow, man, can we cut this and can we do that? And then as minute somebody says that maybe about their offering. So let's say you made $2,000 this month. You just got a big cutback, a setback, and all you made this month was $2,000. And so that $200 that's your tithe hits you a little differently. So you say, I need to cut back on that a bit because I got this bill. I need to pay $150. That pastor gonna get up there. You don't cut back on God. You don't do da-da-da. But meanwhile, this gift that I got that God gave me, you want me to cut my price back to fit your thing. The hypocrisy be sometimes a little.
It's
and in church world, I've dealt with that. Yeah, we deal with that all the time with dealing with churches. How many churches have we gone to that just did not pay, just didn't have it, and got us up there and tried to raise an offering and didn't pay, and we was just out on the line. Like, I remember this happening in Michigan. I remember it happening in Jacksonville. I remember it happening in, we've been over, across the country where we went to go do something, dealing with church folks, and they did not have what they promised us they would have to take care of expenses. And we was coming out of our own personal pockets to take care of people. And then they want to come back talking about, oh, y'all blessed us so much. Or, y'all didn't bless us. Y'all effed us over. Y'all you know what I'm saying? And they want to be, we had a Holy Ghost good time. That wasn't a Holy Ghost good time. That was a lie and a half. That was, the Lord don't work in that kind of confusion.
Yeah, and it's funny you said that. The pastors that do that. And something they always say that I don't sow seeds, I give money. Right. They pastors will say that. Well,
that's funny.
We need you to cut back and can we shave this off? And they never once. And I had a pastor that I had this conversation. Can y'all cut back? And I asked the pastor, you get your check every 2 weeks, don't you, from your church? Well, doc, there ain't no doc, nothing. You get your money, don't you? You got.
Here's the thing.
How come your life is take precedence over this person? It's not. That's not the ministry for you. Get somebody else. You may not get Ty Tribbett. Get Tyrone Tapestry, or get Fred Hankin. Get somebody else. You can't get Fred Hammond. You can't get Dietrich Haddon. Get Derek Hodgkins. Get somebody else. You can't afford that name. Get someone else. And something that's funny though, Zeke, on another note, is not funny, but
talking about the churches that be churches and different promoters who little janky when they promise you one thing and you get there and they ain't got it. You done hem somebody up before in the Quad Cities because they ain't have our stuff. At least we got that.
I've done it.
But yeah, at least we got that. But the thing definitely,
it's sad. And let me tell you something else that's funny though. Somebody said Tyrone Biggles. Something Marvin Sapp told me this past weekend, which was hilarious. He said, people have been making memes and everything about me. You lock the doors, right? Close the doors. Dude said, so the surprise is I'm about to drop a single. This dude's dropping a song on Close the Doors. It comes out this Friday. And he said, I might as well monetize on it. Everybody else doing it.
I heard George Bloomer say, he was at my church maybe a few months ago. He said, take your scandal and use it to your advantage. Like that. Like they say in show business, all publicity is good publicity. Like it don't matter what they talk about, all publicity is good publicity,
Yeah. And matter of fact, I know you got to do your music thing in a minute. Did you get the stuff?
I see what's going on with Instagram. So Instagram apparently ends the live stream after an hour now. So I think we're just gonna stop streaming Instagram from here on out. I think we're just gonna stop the Instagram thing.
Sorry,
I ain't got
come on.
I just got a thing across. That's what's been going on with Instagram. It's stopping the stream at an hour. So yeah, Instagram. I think we're probably gonna stop on Instagram. It didn't used to do that though.
Or when you got a certain amount of viewers, like when people used to watch Versus, when it used to get to a certain amount of viewers, it'd shut off on it, and then they'll have to start. It was crazy. Yeah, they used to shut it off.
I just started having this issue since like Thursday, like
Instagram,
when we were down. Yeah.
Us.
Where it just stops. And so I got a message that came across here that says Instagram has disconnected the stream. They currently disconnect streams after 1 hour for most users. If you want to continue streaming on Instagram, you can remove this destination from the stream and re-add it. So I have to like re-jump. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing all that.
See, and this nothing.
So if you're on Instagram, yeah, JI, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And matter of fact, see, before we doing the music break, that you got, some of the people in the comments share what's been a good concert you went to in gospel and why. So what was a great concert that you guys went to and you really enjoyed yourself, and why did you enjoy it? What
any genre, right?
Any genre. It can be secular.
I'll tell you mine.
Gospel, which one?
I'll give you mine, and then we'll take a music break. I'm gonna play some Jamaica Lachey today because she's gonna be on with us tomorrow. So that's gonna be fun. We're gonna have her back on because she's doing a movie today. But
did you get the videos I sent you too?
I did.
Okay.
I gotta give you the other email address. I was looking for them in the other email, and so I had to go fish them out. Yeah.
I forgot the Zeke live 7:30. I just sent it to you right. That was goofy. That was on my fault. But go ahead. What was you about to say?
My favorite concert, I think, might be Charlie Wilson. I've seen him twice, and both times I don't know if it was that it was just that good, or if it's that the first time I didn't have high expectations. I mean, it's not that I'm not a Charlie Wilson fan, but I ain't no Charlie Wilson fan, not like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I went to that concert. It was at the United Center, and it blew my mind. I was just like, oh, this man is putting on the show. And then when he was on the Tom Joyner cruise, even in a wheelchair, I'm like, oh, like he still organized the rest of the show, that this man still put on the show. Like, he was in a wheelchair walking around, but he was like up. He was still like hitting certain dance moves. But he took his time to get off the stage when he needed to and let your boy, what's his name, Javon? Jarrell. Yeah. He was doing a lot of the singing and stuff for that show. So it was a really, really good show. That was one of my favorite ones. Absolutely. So I'm with you, E. The people put them in the comments. What's your, if you had one, like Rondo and the Rock said, Usher. We're gonna take a music break, but y'all let us know what was a good concert. I need some ideas. Yeah, I need some ideas to go study. So when I get back into the concert world, I got to get back in concert world. So I see some of the comments coming in. We're gonna hit some of those comments when we get back from this music break about people's favorite concert that they've ever been to. So here we go. Let's do this, E. Let's take a music break real quick. Jamaica Lachey. Let's do Say Less. She'll be our guest tomorrow, so I'm gonna play some of her music. Y'all put in the comments, what was your favorite concert that you ever went to? Eric said, and why? Why was that your favorite concert? So thank you for that note there, Eric. Here's Jamaica Lachey with Say Less, if I can find it. Here we go. Jamaica Lachey with Say Less. Y'all give it up for her.
I'ma need you to say less, pray more. 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 And that's a word to the promise. When you cry, complaining and waving all away his eyes. Silver and gold have I not, but I serve you this knowledge is straight out the pot. Yeah, you should be thankful for what he's done. Praising his name, you already won. Second to no man, get with the program. God is the source for your overcome. Yeah, my Lord is the source for your overcome. Yeah, with Christ the source shall overcome. Yeah, the battle's already won. My Lord is your overcome. I'ma need you to work. Rejection, it was flexing, but I had to keep on stepping. Stop the talking, start the walking. Who knew silence was a weapon? the way I further this journey. Please give me your attention, they just listen, he's the truth. The only one who knows and recognize the real you. So if you feel me, if you with me, if this resonates with you, stop the playing, no more gaming, add some work and see you through to the promise. Say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I'ma need you to say less. Pray more. I'ma need you to say less. Pray more. Say oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Say oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And if you feel me, if you're with me, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. One more time, if you feel me, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I'ma need you to say less. Pray more. I'ma need you to say less. Pray more. To the promise. Ask some work. Ask some work.
Oh, snap. Jamaica Lachey with Say Less. She's going to be our special guest on tomorrow, so you definitely want to chime in on tomorrow because she will be with us. Let's get Eric back to the stage up here because Eric posed the question to the audience. And before we go into that, y'all make sure you're subscribing, make sure you're liking. I don't do that enough, so I'm trying to get in the better habit of doing that because when I'm on stage and stuff, I'll be forgetting to tell people to follow. I'll be forgetting all that stuff, you know. So they put some comments in here, E. So Eric posed the question. He said, what was your favorite concert? R&B, rap, gospel. So those genres, what was your favorite? So you can't bring up, we can't say Lady Gaga, we can't say Katy Perry, we can't say.
Yeah, you can say whoever it is.
Oh, okay. So even if it's pop or right, because I know some people that will say Bruno Mars hands down. I remember Smith. I don't know if he's still here. Smith said he went to a Bruno Mars concert. He said his wife bought Bruno Mars tickets, and he was mad that she bought them. Like it was a surprise for him. He was mad because it was so expensive. He said when he left the concert, he felt like he owed Bruno Mars more money. He says the concert was so good. Like I was mad she bought these tickets because they were so expensive. And he said the concert was so good, I felt like I owed Bruno Mars more money. That's how good the concert was.
You have those feelings, man.
That's a hell of a concert.
Where Willie Jordan said we had Marvin Sapp and St. Mark back in the day when the mission first split up. St. Mark sold 3,000 people, and there might have been 200 people there. Marvin Singer preached like it was standing room only. And that was when he, And see, I remember that.
Almost got me.
In the day. Yeah, right. It's that almost happened again. Those were the guys really that gave me help to get my start in doing this. Was Freddie and his group commission in their prime. I was with them. I was doing water boy duty. But let me see. The favorite one. PJ Morton is great.
PJ Morton. Yeah. PJ Morton. I saw PJ Morton. My friend Jasper. Shout out to Pastor Jasper Taylor, Broadview Missionary Baptist Church out there out in Broadview, Illinois. But so he was heading the Callahan Foundation, and they do their annual, fundraiser banquet in December every year. And one year, they've had PJ a couple years, but the first year they brought PJ Morton in. Like, it was full. They were honoring Jesse Jackson. It was a full house and everything, some I don't know, 300 people. But most of the people that were there, older, wealthy, got a lot of money, all that kind of stuff, that donors, right? So they didn't know who PJ was. So the night was getting late. They left. So when PJ got up to the stage, it was the closest thing. That might have been 30 people that stayed. I kid you not to watch him. Like, to watch PJ Morton. And he still gave a show, just like JR was talking about, with Marvin Sapp with 200 in a 3,000 room. So I was literally like, let's see, y'all can't see my wall, my screen, but as close as I am to the wall, which is maybe, let's call it 5 feet away from me, going this way. It's 6 feet, maybe even 10 feet, just to be long for me. That's how far PJ was sitting from it because the stage was like close to the ground and all that. And I'm sitting right on the front, and PJ is right there, like performing his heart out, full band and everything. And man, it was such a good concert, that PJ concert. So yeah, your mama said Dietrich had it.
Oh, Dietrich kills on his show.
Yeah, your mama said Dietrich had it. And that's a good one. Yeah, Dietrich definitely puts on the show.
Performance.
I told you I was on the stage with Dietrich. When was that? That Dietrich came to Chicago. He's at House of Hope, and he was like, "Yo, tell Zeke and them to come out here." And we came.
Oh yeah, we did that. That was Mother's Day last year.
Yeah,
was that the Mother's Day show. Him, Fred, John P. Key, and all.
Oh wow!
That's same thing we doing this year.
Well, all I know is I was on the stage with him because he told me to stay on stage with him and just rock the stage.
Yeah.
And so I'm rocking the stage with Dietrich, and at some point I turned around and looked at him, and it dawned on me, this Negro was over 50 years old, and I'm watching him destroy the stage. I mean, just
y'all see him in Chicago, he is coming soon. I can't say when, but he's coming soon. Get ready for that. It's gonna be crazy.
A show. Here goes one. Hood said Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. I was just getting out of high school when I went to that concert. It was in the Snap era. Hey, dun, 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 dun. I remember the Snap era. Lil Jon and them, yeah, definitely. That had to definitely be a dope show. I've never seen Lil Jon in concert, but that was so dope when during the Democratic National Convention when they brought Lil Jon out for Georgia. That was like hecka dope. I love that. Let's see here. Miss Brenda Rose, shout out to our girl, the Locke'd star, the one and only Miss Brenda Rose. She said Kirk Franklin, Fred Hammond came to Connecticut. And that's when Kirk had Tamela Mann and her husband was part of the family. Kirk was jumping around and twisting and turning.
That was the tour of life.
I
remember that. That was the tour of life.
Yeah.
That was a good one too.
Yeah, that was one of those.
Hold on.
No, I feel you. That was one of those gospel tours that kind of helped to make gospel music, like really put it in people's, in that forefront that things could be bigger than just church. That tour of life, that was, I was alive during that time, but it was kind of before my era, but at the same time, I was like a kid. So, I still remember it, Let's see here. My auntie Regina says, I just went to a Howard Hewitt concert in ATL at the winery. The last 15 minutes, he left the stage and came into the audience, stood on the chair literally in the front of me. He totally interacted with the audience, gave hugs, kisses, sang happy birthday, anniversary songs to people. He was done. He was able to, he was so close to me. I helped him down from standing on the chair. It was great. Oh, there it is. There it is. Pastor Bill said I done pissed him off. There you go. See, I'm pissing the pastors off. Not coming in pissed off. Lord Jesus. There you go. There you go. I got one particular. I know what you're talking about. I got one. If my boy Jason was on here, we got one particular dude. I got two people. I'm not going to call this one out. I'm not going to call the one guy. I'm not going to call him. He's from Kankakee, though. That's all I'm going to say. There's one particular pastor from Kankakee. He hit me with the, they raised the offering one time I was doing a concert. And he was like, all the money is going to Zeke, all this other stuff like that. I didn't ask for no offering. They said they was just going to sponsor this concert. This is when I was first starting. This is before BRL days, all of that. This is how I found out, church could be a shady place. And I kid you not, he raised this offering, and I knew I saw and people, they were there to see me. So they came in, they brought stuff like, let me change that track. They brought stuff like $100 bills, and I saw people write big checks. Like my uncle was there. I know he put a $100 check in there. I kid you not. This preacher told me backstage. He said, back in the thing when it was all said and done, he was like, now we gave you the bigger half of the offering. And I'm like, I thought you had me stand up there in front of, because I don't like standing in front of people collecting no money. Like he put me up there told these people that it was collecting it for me, and they're gonna tell me he gave me the bigger half. Now I learned then that when somebody says bigger half, they lying. Because what's the bigger half? Ain't half and half the same? Like
it's the same.
So like I said, I seen them $100 bills going there. That man gave me $200 and told me it was the bigger half. Now I seen at least 4 people put $100 in the offering. on top of everything else that went in there. So how was $200 the bigger half?
But you know, that goes back to them shady.
I got so mad at him.
People, out here that do that kind of thing. Like I told you about the church that paid up money and chicken. I'm like, man, we are not hunter gatherers. Saints. What are you doing? Give me you take this chicken for your work. Chicken. Now the sad part was it was good. I ate it, but still, it was like so church is crooked. I ain't gonna say a lot.
I still ate it.
I ate it. It was good, but that's the thing. And then we go read this comment. That's the thing. Pastors that invite artists to your church, man, they talk. Then you wonder why you can't get nobody else to come to your church.
Yeah, but we talk about the integral ones too, though.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a space where people keep coming through, or people are willing to go through, it's because somebody's been talking about you in a good way.
Like you got Pastor Ellis, you got Pastor Sullivan. We going back to the country and get your.
Talk about that preacher who took my, who gave me the bigger half.
Bill, I'm with you. I believe in going to get stuff. We go down and take the keyboard. We go collect either money or merchandise.
Y'all think I'm kidding? He literally told me but here's the thing. I didn't ask for no offering. I didn't ask for none of that. Like he put me on the spot and had me come up there and do that. Used me as a money grab. I said, never again will I come to your church. Don't even look for me to come back.
No,
to you
I had a preacher. I pushed him down, so I can see a lot of trying to pay for this group I was working with. This man said, Jesus paid it all. He shook my hand. That was his answer. I said, what do you mean? Jesus paid it all, bro. So I shoved him. Stockton, California, on Zeke, Locke'd Walk. I used to live in Fresno, California.
My auntie, she out there. Look at this, Teddy Pendergrass. Whoa, wow. You looking bad. Miss Brenda Rose with the throwback. Yay!
Wait, Miss Brenda Rose. Teddy used to kiss the women on the lips because he wanted them that king of the stage. And he used to kiss on the lips.
My aunt said at the Luther concert we had front row seats, backstage passes. Oh snap! And we stayed on the same floor as Luther. Our family friend Patty was backgrounds. That'd be the best. Now that'd be the best when you know people who be that. Well, shoot, that's how I get everywhere because you be backstage.
We know people that get in.
No, for real. My cousin Michelle used to sing background for Music Soul Child. And this is when I was like a huge Music Soul Child fan. Like, I remember the backstage joints.
In a minute.
Let's see. That's
Dietrich's DJ. He right. I remember that. Dietrich. Oh, wait. He's trying to be funny. I just thought about. Okay, you know what? Don't share Watkins post away. Yeah, share it. Go ahead. DJ
Wait, where is that? I don't even see it.
It's right under that one. Under the Billy Jordan, the bigger half. He's cracking the joke on me. So DJ Watkins.
Oh, you know what? I don't see it over here, so it must be on your thing, so I can't see it. So there's some stuff. If it's not coming through on my page, it don't show up. So.
See.
Yeah.
So DJ Watkins.
You be seeing a lot of comments that I don't be seeing because you be looking at it through another thing.
Don't be funny and go over there and post that on Zeke Watkins. This is what he said. I wonder if Eric remembers when he had the congregation going out. He got up there and did his praise dance routine. It was a praise dance.
You did a praise dance routine?
I have never done that. But he be lying. He be saying, I've never done that. DJ, Mr. Deshaun.
Shout out to DJ Watkins, man. I ain't seen him in a while.
He's
Mr. Watkins.
DJ. But
yeah,
see,
he's a
that's
great
what you
DJ.
get. They can't see it on my page, sir. So you have to put it. I'm on the toast. Well, I just told you. You got to go to Zeke's page and post it. Then you can post a comment.
Bernie Cat said the Hamiltons put on a good show.
The Hamiltons can sing.
Yeah,
I like intimate settings. I remember going to. You remember Zeke when Tori Kelly invited us to her concert?
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was my first time ever in 4th Presbyterian downtown Chicago.
Yep, she gave us
right across.
Her team called and said, "Hey, y'all want to come to the show?" I'm like, "Really? We're invited by Tori Kelly to come to our show?" Like,
yeah,
it was an invite.
We had
we got invited to a lot of stuff. Right?
We had that balcony on lock, boy. We was lit up there because we ended up all going to the balcony because that was the only space that could seat all of us. And so we ended up going upstairs so we could sit together. And we had that John lit, boy. And Fourth Presbyterian, downtown Chicago.
It sure was.
Oh, look, Brony Cat was there. I didn't know you was there for that. At Fourth Presbyterian, downtown Chicago? Oh, snap. That's where, we was in there loud and extra.
Because Tori's management team called and was like, hey, y'all want to come? I forgot how we even connected with them, how I even connected with our manager.
It was she was coming. You knew she was coming, and you was trying to get us on the show.
To open the show, that's right.
And then they needed like a choir or something. You was like, well, okay, we'll do that. And then it just kind of went a different direction, but they still said, well, y'all still come on through. Like, we'll make sure y'all got enough tickets where y'all can get in.
Which was
gave
great
us
that
enough
she was
tickets.
willing to put you all on the show with her, which was a blessing. But they ended up, like you said, not doing the whole choir situation. But man, thank God for that. We, God has allowed us to be backstage and on a lot of shows.
Here's one that's true. My auntie Elaine. Yeah, my auntie Elaine. So here's the cool thing about Kool and the Gang. On my grandmama's side, I'm actually related to Kool from Kool and the Gang. But even closer than that, and that's like distant cousin, distant relative. But even closer than that, matter of fact, let me park right there real quick. I remember going to the Bell family. That's my grandma's family, the Bells. If your last name is Bell, my grandmother would have figured out a way you was related to us. But I mean, literally, like she would like figure it out, and we'd be like, "Oh my God, we cousins! Didn't even know that." Like, and she would be able to trace it. But anyways, Kool and the Gang. Whenever we go to those Bell family reunions, if they played any Kool and the Gang song, whole family went crazy because, of course, they all know their family. But here's the other side of it. My auntie Elaine, who is currently out in Las Vegas, lives around the corner from my mama and dad. So I always love going to see her. She used to sing with Kool and the Gang and like manage them and all that kind of stuff. She was like their road manager and sang with them. Like to this day, she's still. Last time I was at her house, matter of fact, I don't know if it was the last time I was there or second to last time. She had Skip Martin was there. Like so, I got a chance to connect with him. He was one of the trumpeters. Now he's a jazz trumpeter. But for Kool and the Gang, like they got all these stories about being all over the globe. Because they were a global success. So like my auntie Elaine, like so whenever she be giving me like little pointers about music industry stuff and like telling me I'm doing something good, I know we on the right path because she's literally dealt with some of the biggest stars in the world, and I don't mean that like if you think gospel artists are big, you go out with these cats that's doing this kind of stuff. They got a different Zeke, mentality.
With that, who is somebody? What artist have you met or you wish you would have met that you think you would have fanned out on?
That I would have fanned out on? I don't fan out on a whole lot of folks, but I fanned out on Fred. I fanned out a little bit on Kurt. No,
who have you never met that you would have fanned out?
Huh? Who have I never met that I would fan out?
Yeah. What's an artist?
I would fan out over Kanye a little bit. That's true. Even though he's still crazy, but his music. But here's the thing: his music was the soundtrack. Go ahead.
And Zeke was mad, everybody, when he missed it. That Sunday, me and Jamaica, they went to fellowship with Jay's Fortune to perform. And Charles was like, hey, man, we got a guest coming in. And a few minutes later, all these black, Jamaica, remember, all these black, what do you call them, sprinters pull up. Kanye hops out. They come in. And he sat with me and Jamaica. And then the whole service, he sat with me, him, Jamaica, James. Kanye sat with us. He had his whole team. The choir was in the
mad. Let me tell you why I was so mad. I was so mad because not only did you tell me to come over there, but Jenkins himself had told me, he told me to come through the church, and I couldn't because I had to be at my own church, which at that time was in the south suburbs. There was no way I was gonna make it up there, make it back, and all that. So I had to. I'm like, okay, cool, but he didn't tell me who was coming. He didn't say. It was Kanye. He said it was like a thing, like it was a big thing. And they waited to the last minute to approve it. Because, I mean, it was like they were doing these pop-up things and they wanted to come to fellowship. And he was like, if we advertise that, it's going to be a security issue. It's going to be a whole thing.
It was,
And so I didn't go to
that. But the who's who, like Donald, Jonathan McReynolds, Rails, all of them was there. And so I'm sitting there, and when we backstage, he come backstage with us. He's speaking on the sunglasses, came and sat. So we sat down. Him, then Jamaica was next to him, and all of us were sitting together. And his team was behind him. And I'll text you. I said, Zeke, you was hot. I'll never forget. Zeke was mad.
I'm going off camera. I'm going off camera for that. I'm going off camera because, I'm so mad, man. Trauma.
Dude, what about what you call it? I know. How would meeting Prince would have been something you would have wanted to do too, right?
You know what? I would
Or
have
Michael
loved
Jackson.
to meet Prince. I don't think that I would like Prince though. I just don't think I would like him. Like,
As a person?
I honestly just don't think I would like him. I don't think there's another celebrity. I ain't gonna say who. I'll tell you off. And it wasn't that he was a bad person. It was just he was so iconic to me. But I never thought I would actually vibe with him though. He was iconic to me and had huge implications. You can probably guess who I'm talking about. And then we was on the road with him, and I was like, oh, that confirms it. I mean, he's cool, but we wouldn't necessarily get along because I met him one time and I was just like, oh, we wouldn't get along. He just ain't my vibe. But his music was, you know, you could probably
Michael
guess.
Jackson was exciting for me to meet.
I would have loved to meet Michael though. I would have loved him. I think we
It was
would have had the
great.
same kind of vibe. We'd have been cool. Like we'd have been able to.
This dude was interesting, but he was good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Somebody said Bilal. I mean, Megan Matthews said Bilal put on the best. We sat on we were in the line with him at I met him once actually, just once. I mean, if you're from Philly, I guess everybody in Philly knows Bilal, but from out that way, I don't know. But we met him. I was speaking of Charles Jenkins. I was with Charles Jenkins, and we were in Philadelphia and then in DC, and so we just called it the Amtrak. And so that's real common on the East Coast. You just get the city through Amtrak. So Bilal and his whole team. Yeah, so Bilal and his whole team, they had done a concert down in DC, and they was on their way to Philly, and so we was on the same train, and so we was in line together, and somebody goes, hey, ain't you Bilal? And he's like literally right in front of me, like, I'm right here, this is Bilal right here, and I think it was Willie, like, Willie
Jones.
Yeah, Willie Jones. I was going to say Willie Jordan. Willie Jones. He was Willie Jordan's on here. Willie Jones. He was like, I think it was him, or it might have been somebody else. I was like, that's Bilal. And we look like, oh, snap. So he was like on the train with Bilal. It was like so random. Like it was so random on the Amtrak.
When you meet a celebrity or certain type of celebrities on just different level. I remember being in California and I'm riding up the E-way, not paying attention.
Yeah.
And somebody says, hey, ain't that? And I look over and side by side, you're in traffic. I see the convertible. The dude looking out, so he does this. Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, wow.
This was like 2 years ago. He was on the highway, and once somebody hollered Iron Man, he turned and looked at us. It was him and another actor. I can't get the guy's name. It's gonna come to me it's gonna come to me. And then he looked at us like, "What's up, everybody?" He gave a peace sign like this, and it was iconic because the way he did it. As soon as he did it, it's like the traffic in front of him moved, so he just hit the gas, just took off. I'm like, that was excellent.
Imagine being that famous.
Another comment I enjoyed was Richard Smallwood and voice. Lorette Clark Brown and Darren Brooks. I was like 12, 13. I got to go backstage and meet them. Oh yeah.
Richard Smallwood. That was the first. I remember the first time I saw Richard Smallwood. I must have been in college. I was in college, and at the time, this was before. Yeah, I was in college before I even went to Olivet, I think. But my at the time girlfriend had got some tickets to this Richard Smallwood concert at somewhere way up north. Anyways, we went to this show, and when I say they had maybe 9 people on stage, it's called 9 people on stage, and the sound was so big. Like that was the first time I was just like blown away by like a small set of voices. Then I learned about STEM.
You know what that reminds me of? When you said that. That reminds me of something. Remember we were with Donald for the McDonald's rehearsal?
Yeah.
And his group was killing up there. I remember Kiara, me, her, Paul was in the back. What's the crazy girl that make her eyes do this? She kept doing that to me the whole night. Kiki Wyatt. You know how she can close.
Oh yeah. She was there that year. That's right.
And I told her, that's so weird when you do that. She kept looking at me doing it real fast. She almost got knocked out. But
wow.
I remember when she was when Donald's group, remember they were sound checking.
I don't want no smoke with Kiki Wyatt. I don't want no smoke. Kiki, I did not say that. I don't want no smoke.
And she is following me, so no offense. Hold on, I'm brother, everybody.
She about that life. So I want no smoke.
Some of our family indie, they will come up. And what Donald did was, and this just go back to that sound, his group was singing. I remember Tom was like, "This is amazing." And when they got done, Donald was like, "What are you guys just doing?" That wasn't That was 25% of what you can do. And we're sitting there like, here, I was like, that's 25%. Damn. And Donald was like, I'll go home and come back ready for the show. And that was it. And it was like, all of us sitting on the side looking like that was perfection. It was vocal perfection. Donald, it wasn't that. But yeah, man. So somebody said being able to sing for one of
the original Commodores. Wow.
Commodores. I remember that name.
Oh, the sing for them backstage. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got it.
Like she sang for you know how we be catching, you know how like celebrities and artists that catch people and be like, well, sing something for me. Like,
you know what?
Don't miss your moment when that happens.
Some hate that.
Here's my wife. See, there we go. My wife knew the one to put on there, the Kanye concert. So she tells me this story all the time. She was there at the House of Blues when Jay-Z put the rock chain on Kanye West and announced it to the city of Chicago that he was going to be, on that label. And then, he was part of the Rock. And she said, like, John Legend was there. She was like, she was just there with, like, John Legend, Common, all of them. And John Legend was really like a nobody at that time, like not famous. I ain't gonna say nobody.
I know what you mean.
Like, and she was there, like John Legend's literally like right there with her, like, this is way before anybody knows who he is. So like she always.
He said that's one of the moments that make you mad all over again.
Yeah, all these people just love to rub Kanye West stories in my face because I've never seen Kanye West live. Like even when Rich was telling me about how he went to the Kanye concert when they dropped that new album, I think it was Rich and my cousin Jonathan, they all went to it, and it was like soon as it hit the speakers, and I'm like, I wasn't even there. Like, oh my God, I just be.
And speaking of, Rich's wife was there at fellowship. She was sitting over there by us, so she was there. I think was there when we popped up. When Kanye popped up and James Fortune popped up together, and it was just a thing. And the funny thing was to know that, man. And you know what, Zeke? They always say, how many people away from somebody are you? Before to meet somebody.
So yeah, how many degrees?
You have to have Fred hook that up. That's his voice. I say,
yeah. I honestly believe I'm going to work with Kanye West. I honestly believe that in my heart of hearts. Y'all heard it here, folks, on Zeke Live in the morning. I honestly believe I'm going to end up doing something with Kanye West at some point in time. I don't know. Maybe but we'll see. I honestly believe it. I said that about another art. I won't even say who that artist was. I'll just simply say I said that one time when the first day I heard this album, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I tell the story. First day I heard this album, we were still LXW. I was still with LXW at the time. Like, and first time I heard this particular person's album, the first day, I remember going live in our group room and saying, y'all, I don't know what it is, but I feel like we're going to end up working with this dude. Here's why I feel this way. I feel like gospel is going this direction, And so I think that people are going to come to this guy's project. They're going to be a little confused on what gospel is, but we'll be kind of there to help bridge that gap. And I'd be doggone if within a year we weren't in the studio with that particular person.
And he's doing well.
And taking stages with that particular person.
I think he has
exactly
2 Grammys right now.
Yeah, he's got a Grammy now. Yeah.
I told him not that long. I think he's up maybe 2.
That literally happened, though.
But if you think about it, you've always said that, and everybody you want to work with, you did.
That's true. Except Kanye West. We got to get there. We got to get there. Pastor Bill said, I never finished with the celebrity I would vibe with. Okay, who would I vibe with really well that I haven't met? So I want to meet Kanye. I would fan out. But who would I vibe with for real? I don't know. Who do I think I would really vibe? I think me and Missy Elliott would get along. I do think me and Missy Elliott would get along. I think I would get along with Timbaland. I think I would just get along with that whole crew. I think I would have fit into that crew. Like that whole Missy Elliott, like circa 90s, and early 2000s with Missy and Genuine and Magoo and Timbaland and Aaliyah came along. Like, I think I would have vibed well with that crew. Out of all the crews out there, I think I would have went best with that one.
I think you heard that before, my Aaliyah story. How I met her wasn't the best way. I accidentally stumped on her foot. She was behind me.
Why you always stepping on somebody's foot? Like,
yeah, she was like, it was with, matter of fact, it was with Commission. It was them, Yolanda, and the Winans were in concert back in the day at the Regal. And I was in the hallway going towards the back and was doing something stupid, jumping around and stumped over. She said, oh, And I turned around, and she looked just like the video. R. Kelly was standing there, and security was with him. They were headed to the back where we was going. And I turned around like, I am so sorry, you know. And this woman just looked like one in a million videos standing on the wall. And every guy around me, the guys, everybody melted immediately. You know, and he's like Kevin Bassett used to say, he's stupid. He said, man, Beyonce used to kill. He said, you be in a trance and you just be rocking like this. And Beyonce, she said, that's how Leah was. You are going to lead Kanye to Christ. That could be it.
Could be it. I don't know.
I mean, there's people that came into contact with
just be a light.
Yeah. That's what we, and think about this too, Zeke, even when Sean Breed said that the other week. Think about this. When we were on the cruise, we end up being around and hanging with Drew Hill a bunch of times.
Oh my
so
Lord,
they became
yes.
sister. I don't know.
Well, y'all did. Let me correct that. Y'all hung out with them a whole bunch of times because y'all got to be out there for a whole week. But the rest of us that flew us into Jamaica, we got 3 days, and 2 of them days we was working. So.
Man, we was on that boat Saturday. We got on a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I was so jealous. I should have just.
You should just got
told
on.
Ray I didn't have no. Well, I should have told Ray I didn't have a passport. That's what,
some of them have passports and still.
I know they found out they was going for a week. I should have just lied and said it. Cause man,
look, we hung out.
Y'all got a week.
Man, Lauren Hill and Buster and Keisha Camp. It was just a lot doing. Ralph Treasure, New Edition people. Man, we had so much fun. Let me see. Kev on stage.
That's how she feel. The way I feel about Kanye, that's how she feel. Kev on stage, he was actually one of the nicest people. Yeah. He was actually super nice. Him and his wife both. We had them host for us one time. At a thing, they were the MC at one of our concerts.
Yeah, they were in town. They were in town, and I talked to his brother, rest in peace, Jason. Jason, like, my brother there. I'm like, hey, I need him to host. And Kev reached out and said, hey, man, I'll come.
And they were just super nice people. They really.
I still got that video. That's funny.
Miss Brenda Rose said, "Me and Babyface, I would do well with Baby." I wonder.
He's face now because he don't look like a baby.
He's like I think he would be kind of like that one, like, I don't know, he seems like he's real staunch. Like he seems like he's just one of those matter-of-factly like he wouldn't want to like really hang out much. I mean, you never heard Babyface in no real scandals. Like he was never really
a scandal at all.
He just be chilling. Like he just seems like he just be kind of like he does his thing and he goes home to his family. I don't know if I would. Bruno seemed like he get down. I don't know. Bruno seemed like he get down. He seemed like he's about that life. He seemed like he.
What about Anderson?
Like the night might get a little crazy.
What about Anderson?
Who?
That played. Wait, what did you say? So song last. Still recovering from all the winning I did this past weekend.
That's true. So let's, and I'm gonna bring Rich up to the stage in a minute. We're gonna take another break. We at 9:00. I see Rich just came backstage. Yeah. You know, we had a game night. That was a game night where there was some guys versus girls. We had a whole thing with guys versus girls one day, and the deal was if it was husbands versus wives basically, and the deal was if the wives win, if the husbands win, then we get that. She posted this right when I was gonna say something. If the guys win, we get that Thundercat. The fact that just came, Miss Sherry, that just came across my thing right when I was about to say the guys get the husbands get their good if they win. But here was the thing though, if the ladies win, then the thing was, then we would allow them to let us, go ahead and give them some of that Thundercat. So that was the game. And so Keys is letting y'all know that he had to recover from all the winning that
Oh, this guy.
Let me stop. Listen. Oh my God. My Lord.
I ain't gonna attack him.
Oh, look at this. How about this one? Hood said he wants to pick Tiana Taylor's brain. That would be, yeah. You know what? Yeah, she'd be an interesting one. I don't know if I like her that much.
What about you and Brandy?
Like she'd be interesting.
What about Brandy?
Would I want to meet Brandy? Brandy seems cool. I would work with her, absolutely. Yeah, I would absolutely work with her. But she seems like she's cool, though. She seems like...
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she really does seem like she's cool. Most people really are cool. Most celebrities really are cool, though. Like, to be honest, most celebrities, they really are just... At the end of the day, they're just normal people, and they just end up famous. That's really what happens. But if you, like, get behind some of these people backstage... And that's why they don't like people that be coming in extra with phones or, hey, can we do like, because at some point,
and that's why a lot of people
don't sit down
backstage because you can't be yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
Just be out.
I do need to have my auntie Elaine on here to talk about some of those backstage stories with Kool in the Game and all that, like all around the world. Because I heard some of them stories, and boy, they are hilarious. They are for the road.
Sorry, Rich, we got you.
Man, listen here. Let's go ahead and play one more Jamaica Lachey song. I told y'all the reason I'm playing her today is because she's gonna be on with us. She's gonna be on with us tomorrow to talk about her experience on today that she's having filming. So it's gonna be a good conversation. So let's do this. Let's play our other favorite Jamaica Lachey song, I Don't Want It. If you've got I don't know, maybe you got some stuff that you dealt with all last week and all this weekend. So as we go into the new week, as we head off into the new week, maybe you want to say, if it ain't bringing me love and joy and all that stuff, then I don't even want it. So that's what we're doing today. We don't want it. Matter of fact, I'm going to challenge you, okay, to flip the convo. Put something in there that you ain't taking into this week with you. So if you're in the live and you're in the comments, do me a favor, because you might encourage somebody with this one. Put in the comments something you don't want to take with you. I tell you what I don't want to take with me into this new week. I don't want to take fear into this new week. I got some big things that I got to do this week, and I don't need fear getting in the way. Overthinking, and fear ain't always just being scared. Sometimes it's overthinking stuff and overanalyzing, and I need to make some decisions this week. So this week, it ain't bringing me love, peace, and joy, so I don't want it. I don't want the fear. So that's what I'm putting in there. What are you not taking into this week that you don't want? I'd love to hear from you to see what that is. See if we aligned in that area. Here it is. Here's the soundtrack for that. Get you some coffee, and we're coming back with the one and only past star Rich Holmes, and we'll continue in on the conversation. But what are you taking? What are you deciding that you're not going into this new week taking with you? I'm not taking fear with me. What are you not taking? Here's Jamaica Lachey, I Don't Want It.
Stand up, never lay down. Used to see us in the back, we in the front now. They tried, we did. Stepping up, no chill, I'm about to go in. Steady dancing in the clouds, got Abba walking mouse, talking handshake, smiles for the big win. Almost on the reach in, trying to put their bid in, hoping they can slide just a piece in. But this ain't for the weak, for the hearts wanna sleep. Put a guard on your piece, gotta stand in your sleep. Take a breath and be meek, gotta take it from me. No one can do you like you do it. Be fluent in you, that's a movement. Stay focused on you, it's not selfish, it's true. It is only to you that you prove it. If I can't feel no love, I don't want it, yeah. If you can't feel these voids, I don't want it, yeah. If it don't bring me joy, I don't want it, yeah. I don't want it, I don't want it, yeah. People used to talk how me could falling off, now they looking for my corner. Red form on the backtrack, I ain't cutting no slack, it's a new order. Said my team is really strong now. Kingdom coming like the song now. Guaranteed on this walk, you won't believe, but his word is the creed, and my faith it goes free. No one can do you like you do it. Be Transcendent traps and dead bodies have shined the clouds. Depression's a trophy for Gen Z, and socials will kill you with envy, fabricating the line through the enemy. My state, it is altered and change has occurred. Intention is heavy on serving this word. My being has meaning, no love lost, I mean it. I'm good at believing that's true, I don't think. If I can't feel no love,
That was Miss Jamaica Lachey with I Don't Want It. I asked the question before we left, but before we come back, well, I did ask the question, what things are you leaving behind this week? I've decided I'm not taking blank into the new week. I'm not taking fear into the new week. I got decisions I got to make, and I want to hear from y'all to see what are y'all not taking into the week. Let's encourage each other with that. We're an encouraging family. But before we bring back to the stage Pastor Rich Holmes and Eric Rideout, let's do this real quick. Make sure you're following and subscribing to all the places. Now, Instagram, I just found out, only does an hour now for most users, probably because I ain't got enough followers. So that is what it is. That's how that goes. That's how they do these things. So, it cuts off after an hour. So we're going to figure out some new way to stream live into Instagram. We'll figure out something new with that, get that going. We'll figure out something. But I think that maybe going forward, we might this week just, I don't want Instagram this week, maybe. I don't know. But it does look like that cuts out. And so we have to be, mindful of that now. So that's a new thing. That's not a StreamYard thing. I thought it was a StreamYard thing the last few days. It's not. Apparently it's an Instagram thing. So I was blaming StreamYard. I owe them an apology. And before I bring them to the stage, I want to take this quick moment to give a quick shout out and a thank you to the organization that sponsored the monthly cost for StreamYard this month, LAH Entertainment and Arts. They covered our expenses to go live. I told y'all it's not cheap to do this. Speaking of StreamYard costs just under $40 a week. I'm sorry, just under $40 a week. So about $150 a month to get on here and do this every morning. Get up early, it costs a little bit. So I want to thank LAH Entertainment and Arts. They are a company that produces movies and TV series. They publish books. They go through the whole nine. They can get you going if you're in that world and if you want to get involved in that space. So I want to give them a huge thank you, as well as and if we get a minute, I'll let Rich talk about it some too, because he knows a little more than I do with them. I do believe they're doing some screenings and auditions for a series that they've got coming up that they're working on, and also a Christmas movie that's coming out this year. Shout out to Black Christmas movies. Yeah, Black Hallmark Christmas movies. So LAH Entertainment and Arts, I want to thank them for seeing the vision of what we're doing every morning and pouring into that. People don't have to be nice, but I thank God that they were. So there we are. All right, let's do it this way. Let's get to the stage. Where they at? I got to get the right scene. Oh, but while I'm finding the right scene, y'all vibe out for a minute. So we can bring them up right. There it is. All right, there it is. That's the one I want. There we go. Cool. Let's bring to the stage Mr. Eric Rideout and Mr. Pastor Rich Holmes.
What up?
I was dancing. Hey. What up?
Monday morning, baby. Yeah.
Oh, Pastor Rich Holmes.
What's that?
What's working, Doc?
Yeah, it's all good. I feel good, man. It's Jesus week, so it's all good for me.
It's true. It's Jesus
sir.
week, Holy Week,
That is true.
Resurrection
That is
Week.
true.
Yeah, Life Week, all the names that it gets called across all the spectrums. Whatever it is, it's a whole thing about new life. This track that's playing in the background, you just hit that in my head. The tagline on this, on my version of it, because I stole your song, is that new life, got new life, got new life in me. You know what I mean? Got that whole thing. I got new life. I got new life, got new joy flowing. Yeah, that's that, and that's it. Honest to God, that's how I feel. Maybe it's because it's spring. Maybe it's because the sun is shining.
Yeah,
I honestly feel
so
new.
glad.
I don't want. Yeah, I don't want to take
I hope
a whole
we
bunch
out of that snow weather. I hope we out of all that cold.
Yeah, I ain't taking snow into this week. That's
come on, that's true.
Because it's spring. It's time to get outside.
New life, new vision. So I love it, man. I always get this way around this week anyway. So I'm even more pumped and amplified. I'm just working on how to be this way all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More consistent in this manner. You know what I mean? That's when I think the life journey kind of comes. How do we stay in that really good space for a longer period of time? You know, we might feel good for a week and then we down for a month. You know what I mean? Might, say do good for a month and then we down for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So it's just really trying to keep that balance together.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like in this world you will have troubles, right? The up and the down. Like, it's just life. The Lord reigns on the just and the unjust. Like, life is just life. It's gonna do what life does. But how do you balance out having good life, like seeing life as still good? Like, just I attribute Wayne Dyer when he says you change the way you look at things, then the things you look at change. And so if you wake up and decide that it's a good day, well, then I'm gonna see it as a good day. If you wake up and see it as here we go, another day. It's Monday. Wow, I start off my whole week already on a bad note. It's Monday. I got to go in and bump that. I get to go in. Like somebody ain't got a job. I get to go to work. Thank you, Lord. You know what I mean?
I'm reading a book now with Rudolph McKissick. Shout out to him, man. And it's talking about managing miserable moments and how do we really handle that? What does that look like? Because that's kind of where we see our elevation can take place, is really in those miserable moments. How do you manage those? Because that can propel you to go somewhere or can propel you to go the other way. So I like what he's talking about with that. So
No, I like that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. So speaking of that, I posed a question before we went on there.
For sure.
And I just said, what are we not taking into the week? Let me put that up there real quick. I said, what things are you leaving behind this week? So I said, I'm not taking blank into the week. And for me, I got some big decisions I got to make, some stuff we're working on, as we're going into May and all that. And so I've said, I'm not taking fear. And I summed up fear as not being scared, but just being sometimes the overthinking that comes with it, because it does kind of maybe start at this, what could happen, what's all the bad things that could happen. But y'all know, the two of y'all know me. I will analyze that thing for 3 years before I make a decision. And right now, I just being honest, I feel like there's a new life season on me, and I feel like this is a new lifetime. Like, there's some new things, some big things that's about to happen. And so, to that effect, right now I got to make some big decisions. So this week I'm not taking that fear, that overthinking, that overanalyzing. I'm not taking any of that stuff into the new week. Instead, I'm going to, I'm gonna go in confidently. So, what is it for y'all? And then I'm gonna get into some of the comments, because they've been writing them in here, boy. They've been writing them in here. They got some good ones. Yeah.
I'd say for me, I'm not taking procrastination this week. My goodness. I'm a big person of that. I can wait to the last moment to try to get all of my things that I need to get done, finished and complete. And I've realized that's added stress to my life. It's added bad health decisions. It added me having to get some food in the fast drive-through because, I didn't manage my time wisely or whatever it is. And I'm procrastinating. I know I got to eat, but I got all these deadlines to do. I'm not taking procrastination with me this week. I got like 3 or 4 sermons I got to write. I ain't did none of them. And so I got to get going. I got this week, man. And being new into this thing, I ain't an old, sweet, veteran. They can go pull old messages from back in the day, remix it, and bam, it's a good thing. So now procrastination for me this week, man. It's Jesus week. We got to get it together.
Yeah. What about you, E?
Man, honestly, I would have to say, it's almost like procrastination, but it's not. Honestly, I'm not gonna take it this week. Not calling people back when I say I am. I know that's small to some people. I know that's small.
I'll work on that next week. You do that this week. Tell me how it goes.
Because I have so many calls I have to make, and like Rich said, there's so much happening, man. There's so much coming up, and it's a lot. We all are busy individually.
Yeah.
And so people, please understand it. For us to get on here every morning, it takes work
and it takes a lot of time too.
Time and work because we have a lot going on individually. So for me, man, this week is going to be a week of building that new thing of keeping my word with that.
Yeah.
Not with other stuff, because I do what I do with other stuff. Returning calls. This week, I'm Rhonda. I'm gonna have to start using that app and give people their appointments. But this week, I'm gonna call people back.
You right. Yeah, that's right. Calendly. Yeah.
And I have it. I just didn't think to send that link out.
Yeah.
But
well, as you do that, I got one call I got to follow up. 2 calls, actually, I got to follow up on. But one of them is our boy this week. So we're supposed to talk this week, and I'm going to see that through. So as you do yours, I'll do that one. But the other people, I love all of y'all, but I'll be forgetting to call y'all. So I'll work on that next week. This week, I just got to focus on making some decisions. So that's mine. Hey, check these ones out. Hood said bills. He said they hunting him. They hunting him. He ain't taking bills into this week. So I don't know if that means you're gonna pay him or if you're just gonna leave him.
We ignore him, yeah.
just say forget it. Either way it go, you ain't taking him. But look at Miss Brenda Rose. She said, I don't want to take confusion and attitudes with me.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, confusion. You got to be able to hear the voice of the Lord at some point, and that confusion can be real. If you make a decision in a confused situation, you can really destroy your life or destroy some things. So yeah, we can
somebody else's life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or lives.
Yeah, no, that part.
You as the head of the house and Rich is the heads of your home. You make one bad decision and put Rich, his son, and his wife out in the street. Your wife out in the street. Just a bad decision.
Yeah,
I mean, in life and period, like decisions we make, it's not just based on us. It's always based on other people, the ones we can with. So you can't be so smart to make decisions just for you. You got to look at the whole full scope of everything. You know,
even if you're single.
Even if you're single, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just a general principle. Yeah. Absolutely. Check this one out. Megan Matthews, Sleepless Nights. So now she's in my Rhonda on the Run challenge. Sleepless nights, because my thing for Rhonda on the Run, the challenge is to get more sleep, get better rest, and try to be mindful of that. So Megan Matthews, you on my thing too. I'm with you on that one. Sleepless nights. Let's see. Keep locking in with us all week long. Let's make sure we all, leaving those sleepless nights behind, especially if the sleepless nights. And this is for anybody with a dream or with big plans or you got vision. Sleepless nights are almost just part of the equation because your mind almost never turns off. Like it almost never turns off your brain. Like you're always thinking about what could be, how it could be, what it should be. And so, what went wrong. And so you start getting those sleepless nights sometimes from that stuff. So maybe one thing to do is just to remember that, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, the way you're supposed to do it, it's okay to check it, but figure out ways to turn off. Like, even if that means you got to turn on some stupid TV show. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I turn that on and almost like I used to with The Office, It's just comfort TV. It takes my brain off of everything. It's stupid. I can laugh until I fall asleep, and then I fall asleep, and that's that. And that helps me. So, I don't know, maybe somebody else got a thing, but that's me.
I do the same. I watch something at night. Sometimes it's music.
This mama right here. Go ahead. No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I just said I listen to music some nights. Some nights like you, I may watch Sleepless. What's the thing? I can't get a show. Whatever the show is, it's funny. I watch that or something like Roast Me on YouTube. I do. I watch them. You know, laughing sometimes, as you know, physically helps your body too. Helps you relax. Yeah, but that's it for me.
Yeah. Or another thing I watch. I got a subscription with the Great Courses Plus, right? So I watch a lot of like college courses, because like just feeding my mind just other stuff. I'll choose random topics. It seems like I know a lot of stuff. Part of that is just because I always
subconsciously that you still get it. You
still get it. I be dreaming some of that stuff they be talking about. And I wake up like, wait a minute. And then I realize, look what I'm watching. Like, speaking of watching and what you watching, this is Mama. She's usually with us on Instagram, but Instagram be tripping. I'm sorry, Mama. My bad. I'm sorry. But she says, as Eric, as you know, she does the stuff. Her and her daughter Toddy, they do the stuff. So she's been telling she's working on a horror film right now, doing new things, but she's not taking fear into the makeup department. Ooh, that's tough. When you when you gotta go do something. Miss Brenda Rose said nobody else's financial issues. I have my own I have my own bills.
And people will call them to borrow. I get random messages from some people. I have no clue who they are. I've never met them. And I say, bro, God put you in my spirit to call you. I'm on hard times. And I said, so what's up? I need $652.39. Like, I don't know you to give you that. Because I kid you not, I send some of these things. It's just unbelievable. I understand some people do need financial help, but it's like people don't ask for small numbers. I've had people ask me for $2,300, all kind of crazy stuff. Rhonda said bitterness.
Bitterness. That's a tough one not to take with you. When people done did you dirty,
is a hard one not to take too.
When people done did you dirty, I struggle with my own. If I'm being vulnerable, I struggle with unforgiveness sometimes with certain people. It's just, not saying I don't, or maybe not even necessarily not forgiving them. Doc, maybe you can speak to this, Pastor Rich Holmes. What do you do when you? Well, I mean, for the pastoral view of this, right? What do you do when maybe you feel like you've forgiven somebody, but you still got that bit of bitterness, that bit of, would you classify it as bitterness if it's just kind of like, no, I'm cool on you. Like, I remember what you did. I'm cool on it. Yeah. I'm cool on you. I don't, I don't need to vibe with you no more. I'm straight. Yeah. Like, I don't really rock with you no more. Like, I forgive you though. Like, but I feel like, I'm cool. Is that a thing? Bitterness. Is that okay?
Yeah, I don't think it's bitterness. I think it's just you now deciding how you're going to redefine that relationship. Hey, we had this relationship in this space. At one point, was your benefits from this relationship. Now that we had an issue, we had some trouble that take place. I'm now going to redefine this relationship. You're not going to have this access. I'm not going to want to hang around with you. I may not want to see you that much. Doesn't mean I'm not going to pray for you. Doesn't mean if God asks me to do something, I'm not going to want to do it. I think there are times when that happens, because I know some people, because of what they did, they didn't want to pray for the people no more. They didn't want to try to help them out in anything no more. And it's just like, man, I think that's when there's an issue with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that kind of bitterness is coming in when it stops you from doing things that might be with the will of God. But in real life, just normal stuff, like, if I had a problem with you and I don't want to hang out with you, I don't think that's bitterness if I really forgiving you.
Yeah.
If I really forgiving you, I don't think, I should be cool if I ain't got to hang out with you.
That don't mean I don't like you.
Trying to avoid, I don't think it's about trying to avoid, but it's not an extra effort to try to make it better.
Yeah. Okay. So what if the thing was, and then we'll go to the next one. But okay. So what if the thing is like this person still make your skin crawl when you just hear a name? It's like I'm over it, but just I'm not over you as a genuine person. Is that forgiveness or not?
That forgiveness. Oh.
Like, cause some people could just make you just piss you off so much to the point.
Oh yeah, you hear that
where
name,
you just like even to hear their name just like irritates. Like I don't even like if who all over there and you say that person's name, I ain't coming. You know what I'm saying?
That
like,
means,
I think that you're protecting yourself. You're protecting your peace, bro. You like, listen, this person is gonna make me not have peace. So let me protect my peace. I'm forgiving you. I just don't have to be around you. I think that's okay. You don't have to be around the person. And I'm trying to think of biblical stories that might have fit this narrative.
I don't think that's unforgiveness to an extent. I think at that point I think at that point it's a grudge.
Ooh.
I don't think it's unforgiveness at that point. I just think maybe you're holding a grudge at that point with that person.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's one thing to forgive, like you said. Forgiveness is one thing, and you can forgive them, but it's like, I'll forgive you, but I didn't forget kind of situation. So this is my question. Here's a question then with that.
Sure.
I'm gonna ask you this. I'm giving you all these pastoral questions this morning.
I know, right? We don't.
Yes.
I gotta practice. We gotta work on it. Let's go.
If a person says, I forgive you, but like Zeke said, to the extent we hear their name, like, have I really forgiven you?
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying
to say. My grudge now still a sense of unforgiveness. Unforgiveness. Like I've had people I had to forgive, and I can go up to that person, right? I mean, some dirty stuff, from stealing money, all kinds of stuff. And I can go up to them now, say, hey man, what's going on? Hug them, shake hands, how you been? Blah 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 blah, and just keep it moving. Right. I don't have anything in my heart still towards them, but there have been people. There are some names. I get what Zeke is saying. That I can hear the name like this nigga, you know, or this chick.
Listen,
so that means it's not forgiven. Have I forgiven, or am I still? I've forgiven a part, but I'm still holding on to the action.
I would say somebody's forgiven. If I forgave you, I forgave you. But even like when Jesus, when he did something for people, he told them, "Don't go back to where you came from. Don't go back."
Yeah, that's true.
It. So if I forgave you, you did something wrong. I've forgiven you. It's up to me now to protect my peace. I don't have to go back to it in order to prove that I've forgiven you. I don't have to have a conversation with you to prove that I've forgiven you. If I had a relationship with God and I know I've forgiven you out of my heart, I don't have to have another conversation with you. If it comes up and we do, I'm going to treat you right. If I treat you wrong, now I feel like, forgiveness may not have been here. But if I can still treat you the same, well, not the same, but I can still treat you accordingly. I can still be, hey, what's going on? I may even say, hey, what's going on? Because I don't want to know what's going on in your life. I may just want to be like, hey, and that's it. And keep it right with it. Hello, everybody. And that's it. But that don't mean, in my opinion, what I look like.
You know what? Because you didn't forgive them.
But just life, I don't think that's
because you would end up punching them in the nose or something. You really didn't forgive them. I mean, think about it. When you see them, if it's still there, and they haul off on them. So I get you. It's protecting your peace at all.
Yeah, I'm a big person on that. I'm a big person. What do I need to do to protect my peace? Something got me off my peace. I may not want to go there and do that no more. I may not want to. There's certain people I know I can't be around because I know what will happen.
Including family.
It's not about forgiveness. It's just about knowing me as a person, knowing me as a man, knowing me as what God has called me to do now. There's some people I just can't hang out with because you're going to put me in a bad situation. That I might
it's like the energy they bring. Like you know what the situation is going to turn into. And I know how I'm going to respond in that situation. Right. And I've forgiven you, but I'm not going to put myself back in that position. I just know you bringing that. I just know you're going to bring that.
I know who you are.
My skin just crawls. Because I got to deal with this again. You know, that's what it feels.
You asking for some money. I know you ain't gonna pay me back. I already know. Why am I gonna be upset all day? Maybe I won't give it to you next time. You know what I mean, or whatever it is. But I've forgiven you for not paying me back. Now you ask me again, I got to make a business decision.
That's not unforgiveness. That just means I'm not giving.
I don't want to mess up our friendship or relationship that we have. We may not do this.
So how about this one then? What if it's like somebody just like personality versus like something like that? Because money or whatever is tangible. But what about like a personality thing? For instance, I invite you to my birthday party. You act a complete a-hole and just like killed and destroyed the whole energy. Now you ruined my birthday party. I'm like, this is my 40th, right? Big deal. Right. You ruined my day. I've never had a party. I've never done a thing. They invite you to it. And you destroy the whole thing, ruin our friendship, or maybe my wedding or something, right?
Yeah.
Ruins our friend. And so I'm holding on to that. And then finally, I'm going to let that go. However, do I say, okay, like this person maybe has moved on or something. Do I say, no, I'm still I moved on from it, but I don't want them back at another party, that's not really tangible. That's more of a personality trait thing, because I know they're gonna bring a certain energy I don't want to deal with. I don't know, is that forgiveness or is that a grudge, like Eric said?
I think you still forgave him. You know, I just, you know, like it goes back to what Rich said. You protecting your peace. Okay, you know, like they say, if something happened to you, shame on you. Once, you know, it's okay the first time, it happened the second time, shame on you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, you showed me who you are. Mike, who was it that said it? DMX said it, wasn't it? He said, "I trust a snake to be a snake. I trust this to be this." He said, "So now I trust people to be who they are."
Yep.
So if you come to my situation and you messed it up, okay, that's fine. And I don't dislike you. You're just not coming back to me.
Correct.
I have people that do that at concerts, come backstage and act a fool. I'm like, and I'm taking mental note. I'm watching. Like, okay, this will be the last time. And there are people that have never went to the back, and I don't dislike them. We talk.
Yep.
But when it comes to that, I say, oh, I can't bring nobody in the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's protecting not just my peace, but the peace of those around.
Exactly.
Who
You know,
you are, your brand, your identity, what you stand for. Because you bring in, everybody looking at you like, all right.
Like, bro, this what you doing? This what you on, bro?
Man, I had that with green people, and they just they will, like you said, mess up the whole situation. Whatever you might got going on, it's like, nope, I can never bring you again. It's not that I don't forgive you. You did what you did. This is who you are. I realize this is who you are.
Yeah.
So you may not be able to ride with me here. You may not be able to, I may not call you for this.
Yeah.
Just knowing people, understanding. And all you'll get an understanding. All of it. You got to figure out what's going on with these people out here in this world.
Yeah. Look here, I popped this one up here from Mr. James Williams. Hey.
Not taking excuses into this week.
I'm not taking excuses into this week. Now, that one right there, I had to put that one on the screen.
Wait, are you talking excuses from yourself, James, or from other people? Or period?
Ooh, because that's two different energies, true.
Those different things.
Because you may cut out your own excuses, but sometimes you forgive the excuses of other people, and it ends up putting you in a bind. And then when you get put in a bind, now you got to end up, now you end up procrastinating, having to put stuff off. Ooh,
or if somebody, like, if we do something together, us three, and Rich promises something, all of us promise something, and Rich don't show on his part. Now you and I have to make excuses or try. Now we have to bear the weight of his wrong with whoever brought us in. So now Rich don't look like the bad guy, but we all look like the bad guy. So that's why I'm asking that person: is it a personal excuses that you make, or excuses from other people? Because like Zeke said, that's two different things.
Yeah, because it is true. That's a good point.
So one person can mess up your entire situation.
Was it the same James? Yeah, he says my own excuses, but yeah.
Okay.
I
got you, bro.
Yeah, that's cool. No, that's true though. That's good. Yeah, like self accountability, like holding yourself responsible. Nice. Like we can all learn something from that, because we all, this is human nature. We all gonna end up like doing that. We'll all literally, like, think about this, right? I just set my coffee up on this on the table, right? I just set it up on the table. It was a little like over the edge. If the coffee would have went down, I would have said the coffee fell. I would have said it fell. I wouldn't have said I put the coffee on the edge, which made the coffee fall over. I would pass the blame over to it fell. It's always something else. It's human nature to kind of pass the blame on the other things. And so it's good energy to basically be like, I'm not taking excuses. I'm gonna hold myself accountable, and that's where I'm at with
on yourself.
Yeah,
not other people's excuses, or
but I ain't taking them excuses.
Another person's excuse can also mess you up. Somebody that, so like if Rich is making a business deal and the person who he make a deal with, like, oh, I get with you tomorrow, oh, I get with you the next day, oh, this came up. That's affecting Zeke. Affecting Rich as well as that person. Now, Rich's business and his things he's counting on for this, say, for example, it's a check or some money. Now, the things I'm needing are being pushed back because of that person's excuses. So that's why, like we said earlier, excuses affect others. That's what people have to have the mentality of. What I do don't affect just me. I affect everything around me. I'm not taking negativity into this week. The
negativity, you got to be.
That is a killer.
Yeah.
My phone is going off right now with negativity from my 9 to 5. I'm reading stuff. I'm like, not this week.
Not this week. Not this week.
And have you ever done this, Zeke? Not to cut you off, or Rich. And I've done a lot. Have you ever been in situations where you determine your mind? I'm not stressing you. And you can walk into a room, a church, wherever, everybody else, and family, and you're like, okay, you still smiling. You in a certain place in your head. I'm not gonna give what y'all. I'm not gonna receive what y'all give.
I'm good. I'm floating. I'm elevated. I'm high.
And then they get mad, like, what you so happy about?
Fine. Yeah, while everybody else is all tripping and all. Forget it.
You know, it's interesting. I first worked in corporate America because of my personality. I'm always fun. I'm always, hey, what's going on? I'm up, especially in the morning. They thought that I might be on the other side of the fence. Can't believe that. If you know what I mean, on the other side of me, I might be a part of the other community. Praise the Lord, the alphabet community, if you know. And I had nothing else ever. No one ever said, I've never heard that, seen that, heard that. But in that, they thought, because why are you so happy every morning? Everybody else is coming there with their coffee, they dragging their mama, baby mama, they got on their nerve. And here I am, hey, what's going on? And they just like, we ain't never seen nothing like this before. That was interesting. Happy Rich, there you go. Happy. I just think it's how people see it. So when you say that, yeah, I'm always just living above where we at right now. And I don't talk about what I'm doing at home because I might be down below at home. But when I'm talking out, hey man, it's time to be joyous. It's another day. I'll get through this day. Something good got to come out of here. But that's my mindset. No matter how bad and how worse things are, the day at the end of the day, the day got to end. I'm looking for something positive.
That's true.
You feel me? So no matter how bad I wake up with it, so I believe somewhere in here it got to turn around for my good. Either that's real, or I can stay and be all seldom and stay low, stay defeated, stay down for how many weeks, how many months, how many. And if that's true, I get it. But the mindset again changes if you can shift it. Let me get up out of here. It got to turn around some kind of way. That's better for me to believe that than to stay there. It's a lot easier for me to believe that it's going to turn around than for me to really stay. For me to stay down, that is a lot of work for me.
That's a lot of energy.
A lot of energy for me just to stay down. It's a lot more easy just to get up. Hey, what's up, y'all? Again, that's me.
And it physically helps your body too with the natural things your body releases when you're excited and laughing.
Oh, that's true.
Good.
Yeah.
You know? So
that's actually good. Yeah.
I don't let people do that.
That's true.
When people come around, and this ain't the mood today. Well, that's yours. I don't care nothing about your mood. It's not gonna change mine. I'm still gonna laugh. I'm still gonna say what I'm saying. You don't have to like it. And what was that? The Ursula said she's not doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's go on to that one there.
Not taking things I can't change.
Yeah, not taking things I can't change into the week. That's acceptance. Like taking
scriptural.
So that's the reverse of that would be I'm taking acceptance into the week, and acceptance is the basis of joy. And I mean like acceptance of one is just being content, like just being content with where God has you, what life is. I'll be content with it, knowing that things is like you're on the right path, things are working. So not taking things
you're not being coveting other people's stuff.
Yeah,
we're not coveting.
That's a good one.
And like the Bible says, what does the Bible say? Don't worry about things you can't change. Like Jesus said, you can't add height. You can't do this. Birds of the field, don't worry about what they're going to eat. You know, the flowers don't worry. You know, are decorated. The birds don't worry. In other words, don't worry about anything. Don't worry about stuff you can't change. You can't do anything about your height. I don't want it to be 6'4". Now we can get leg extensions and all that crazy stuff.
Knee surgery.
Knee surgeries and all that. Yeah. You have to be content at where God has you and understand certain things you can't control. If Zeke walk out of here today and Zeke is on his live because everybody on the live out will hang up. We can't do nothing about that. That has nothing to do with us. If I go to work today and get a call today, God forbid, you know, and they say, hey, we laying off the whole team. There's nothing I can do about that. Nothing. You know, if people get the mentality of we can't change what it is. Now, prayer changes things. I'm not talking about that. But now, if something happens and you hit out blindsided, like, whoa, what in the world? Outside of you praying about it, the thing you got to think about, I can't do anything about that.
You do nothing.
There's nothing I can do about that. I can pray about it, but physically, mentally, there is nothing that I can do about that situation. So I get you, Ursula, not taking things I can't change this week. And people always tell me I got this attitude. Carry depression or doubt. I won't second guess the bold choices I make for my next chapter. No more fear, no more sadness, just faith, focus, and forward.
Yay.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That needs to be a status.
That's a year.
Put that up, and I'm gonna come copy
Oh,
the still.
Ah,
So we were having a conversation about forgiveness and stuff, and it's man, there's a lot of stuff that that people were putting in, and I'm just now kind of seeing it down here. But I just want to acknowledge at least some of these comments. Shout out to Merv on Broken Vessel Music. Emotions and will aren't the same thing. Sometimes the heart has to catch up with the will to forgive. I try to remember that. We'll read it from this side. I try to remember that forgiveness from God hinges on the forgiveness I give. You know. There you go. Let's see here. Praying for those who wronged me is hard. I think that was in response to you, Doc. You were saying somebody who you know who prayed, you know, who was like, I can't even pray for this person, you know. Yeah. But when your skin is crawling when somebody just mentions their name.
I get what
I acknowledge that, bro. That's real. I didn't know people really went through that, and once I found out, it's like, wow, that's serious. I can understand it. If you did me wrong and I got to turn around and pray for you. But think about so many pastors that have to deal with that probably every Sunday.
That's true.
People did them wrong and they still got an assignment to pray for them.
Yeah.
They ain't forgave them. They not going to pray for them. Woo, that's tough.
Yeah.
And if we look for that, I think we should look for that from anybody that's a believer.
Even than that.
But it is hard. I will agree with that.
It's hard. It's hard, but we can take it deeper than that one, man.
Yeah.
Let's look at
pause.
God. Yeah, pause.
Pause.
Let's take God.
Yeah.
They pause.
He does it every single second.
What'd I say?
Yeah. No, I said pause for Aries.
I
gotta go back on that.
Yeah, when he came out.
He said, yeah, it's hard, but you can take it deeper than that. I said,
that's what she said.
Pause. Like,
that was
hold on, bro. Whoa, wait a minute. What kind of morning show are y'all running over here?
What I mean is, God has to forgive. We do him like trash every second of the day. Treat him like trash. He has to forgive. So he has to do it. We have to do it. He told us we have to do it. There's no option. We don't have the option to say, and this is not to run a shot towards her.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general.
No, it's all of
it's been hard.
I deal with it. Like,
but you have to. You don't have a choice. Either you forgive, or you can be. That one thing of unforgiveness opens up the door for sickness, other things in your body. Then the worst case, you die with that unforgiveness. You will be cooking like Colonel Sanders chicken for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that. And that's scriptural based. God has told us, you gotta forgive. You want to be forgiven, he said, you gotta forgive others. And it's hard. But like he said, everything has relevance, man. It's tough. I get it.
But it's a work. Yeah, I think it's a work. You know, and like Merv said, you have to catch up. You know, you have to. Sometimes your will and your heart have to just kind of catch up to what's going on. You got to just come in sync with it all.
James, you know, you have forgiven, even if you don't fool with them. When you run across them and you don't treat them different than any other. That's what I was saying. You treat them the same, and like Rick said, you ain't got to mess with them. Zeke, I'll let you read that one from the business.
What else? You're just saying, and I know this story right here. My sister-in-law doesn't care for this particular lady that she had a business dealing with, but that didn't go the right way. She kind of played her out of some money and all this other stuff. And so anyways, it didn't go the right way, but she still sends business her way. You know, I don't see the rest of that coming. My sis said, I don't see the rest of there, but but that was that was an element of forgiveness that had to go in to be able to still send still send business somebody's way who did you wrong in the business field. Pastor Bill said, God is great, beer is good, people are crazy. It's a country song.
It's country song. Yeah. I'm like, what is he saying?
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Okay. Like, God's got beer? What is going on?
Like, what does it taste like? At this point, he said, God has beer. Okay. That's funny. That's funny.
Man, listen, y'all. This man, Doc, you done preached to us all, told us how to forgive people.
Oh,
Like, you done told us how to forgive people, stuff we didn't take. So I wasn't even planning on the conversation going that way. Just kind of Jamaica Lachey got that kicked off with her song, but you know, that's what we don't want to take into the week. You know, we're not taking this stuff into the week.
Here's a question for Rich too, and Zeke, you two on the same subject. When you forgive, like some people say, I forgive, but I didn't forget, right? Is that still holding on to it?
I think
I don't think so. You think so? Forgiving and not forgetting?
Somebody says, "Oh, I forgive him, but I'm not gonna forget what you did."
Yeah.
Is that
I don't think you should. So if let's see,
so Rich, you said
most of the time
it is or not. And Rich,
if you cannot forget it, I don't think you have fully forgiven them.
How can you forget it though? So okay, so I'll pose it this way.
You say do it like God, throw it in the sea.
A man shoots and kills, unalives somebody. A man unalives your sibling, let's say, right? God forbid. But this is a heinous thing that can happen. A man unalives your sibling, and I just can't let it go. I can't let it go. But then finally, I do the work. I forgive this man. How do I forget that he shot and killed my sibling? I can't forget that. So I don't think that forgive and forget in my head is practical, because you can't forget what the thing was, right? I mean, so that's how you even know, like you were saying earlier, Doc, it feels like, you know, like if somebody's going to destroy your space and you're like, okay, I don't rock with that. I know what you're going to bring, just because you haven't forgotten what it was. And so now you're using that memory.
I know it. I know this is who you are now. So
yeah, but why do you know it? Based on the memory of what they did. If you forget it, then you don't.
Whenever somebody show me that, I now know it, right? So now I can make a decision to rock with it or not. I'm not going to keep remembering. Remember, you did this to me. This is why I stopped rocking with. I'm not going to continue to bring that up.
I'm not saying bringing it up. I'm saying like literal forgetting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for me, I would put it in the sea of forgiveness, bro. That would be my thing. That's what I'm looking to get my faith more into. Can I say now in reality, can you forget? Yeah, you gonna remember it. It's fresh in your head. But as we're moving more in the will of God, those things get cast away. And that's my belief. And so, yeah, you can continue to remember it, but I believe that'll keep you in a bound position versus the full freedom of God is, I put it in the sea of forgiveness. I didn't forget what you did, man. That's how much I love you and respect you now. Before, yeah, I couldn't stand it. But now
so, I hear it.
Yeah. So it's almost like people that have been traumatized that feel that mental block to cover up what happened, and you have to remind them what they've been through. Like, I'm over that.
They do.
Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, but I would argue staunchly against that. Here's the reason I would argue against that. Like even psychologically, the reason they open that stuff up is because you can't forgive it until you remember.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So I would say a mental block ain't the same thing as forgetting it. That's a trauma response.
I'm saying,
yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They build up that on the second. It's a trauma response. But like Rich is saying, for the Christian people, hard as it may be, if it's a scriptural based thing, the word says we have to do, then there's no other option or bottom line. Or
what scriptural base do we have for just forgetting something? That's my. I know we say God with the sin of forgetfulness, but that's
behind me. Forgetting those things which are behind me.
I would argue there's a different context there, but what about this? So the Jews had. No, but I got what you're saying.
I'm gonna make it real plain.
No, I feel you. You know, I'm gonna always go back and forth. You know me. Right. But I guess my thing is, it feels like the forgiveness is knowing. Like I think that for me, it feels like forgiveness is knowing what somebody did, and then for me, letting it go doesn't mean it just like automatically disappears from your brain. I mean, the brain is gonna remember what the brain remembers. Like we know that, you know. But to be able to like know that and still like move on from it, like you're like I'm okay with it. Like I know somebody.
Christ remember those things.
What do you think?
Does the mind of Christ remember those things?
Unforgiveness, sin, any of things like that.
No, but
I don't know.
Scripture wise,
it says sin as far as the east is from the west,
right?
But in the literal physical mind, the synapses in your mind are going to remember. So, for instance,
go ahead.
As heinous of a situation, do you really think? And I don't mean to. I'm sorry, because I'm listening to that argument, but then the psychology, the actual literal psychology, would say you're not just going to forget, especially if it's something that's super heinous, like somebody. You think of things like murder, rape, somebody who your wife cheats on you or something like that. Like those things don't go away mentally; they just physically don't go away. So to me, forgiveness feels like it's the knowing that happened and now not holding it against somebody, but moving on from it, not and by letting it go, not like going on a fantasy to forget it, because I just can't. I just don't think about it anymore. I don't let it consume me anymore. Like I still remember getting left at the altar, right? And I'm glad that I did that because I got a good wife. I still remember that, but it don't consume my brain no more.
Let me say,
I'm glad with it. I see how it moved on.
Yeah, but now I honestly do, and I guess it's going back to Richard's point, or I guess it depends on the person. I know a girl right now who was raped by her dad, uncle, and her ex-boyfriend. And when I say, she said, I forgive. I said, what about what happened with them? She's like, what happened? She said, my mind is trying. I don't even. She will hug them and love them like they've never done her wrong. And I'm like, but it. And I brought it up to her. And she said, what you talking about? I'm like, what happened? She said, I don't dwell on that. She said, that's gone. My mind is renewed. What happened? She said, yeah, physically happened, but it's not part of who I am. My mind is new. I'm a new creature, new creation. That happened to the old me, and that's who she was. She said, I'm saved now. So she said, anything attached before salvation does not apply with me. So she has this thing, and I couldn't comprehend it. I'll be honest with you. I'm like, but they did it. She was like, did that to her. She says, I'm no longer that person. She says, so that's how she moves. And to me, Zeke, I'll be honest, that's hard. That's a hard thing to do.
It's part of the journey of being men of faith.
That's tough.
That sounds like somebody saying that they. So watch what I'm gonna say right here, right? Mm-hmm. Like she moved on, right? But did she not tell you that? But did she not tell you the testimony that she was raped by her uncle, her cousin, and her whoever else it was? Right, which means she didn't forget that it happened.
When it first
but I'm saying if she was able to testify about it, she didn't forget about it. Like you can't testify it if you don't remember it. So that's what I'm saying. Like I'm talking about the literal sense of literally forgetting that it ever happened, completely blocked out. I don't even remember it. Like I just, you know what I mean? And I just don't think that's. I don't even think you can testify if you don't even remember where you came from.
She shared that situation before she became a Christian. She was a blogger and after she became a Christian, she said.
So now she doesn't remember ever being raped.
She said she don't.
She doesn't remember it at all.
Not saying it's there. She said She said as a believer, you can't say I believe the scripture, but you only believe it until my Western silver or my common sense says that. She said God says your common sense is foolishness. She said that's the word. She said so I can't say what my human thinking that's an impossible feat. I thought it was impossible. To be honest with you. That's what I was saying. For me, I couldn't get it. And I still don't. I'm like, you got to remember that. But she was like, that's your way of thinking. She said, I'm strictly going off. This book tells me that I don't have to have that mindset. I don't have to have it. She said, and I don't have it.
Yeah, which I get. And
she was like, human reasoning does not matter. She said,
I would have to have that conversation. I'd have to hear that. I'd have to.
She said, because she said you have
it's one thing to literally forget something out of your mind.
And this is what she said.
There's something happened that you know.
She said, "Show me in the scripture where it says I have to remember."
And then we gotta go, y'all. By the way. So.
Oh dang! Yeah, she was like, because I was feeling like Zeke was. I'm like, I don't. You got it. Still gotta. She was like, "Show me in the scripture where it says I have to hold on to that." But I can show you 1,000 places that tell you I don't have to have that mindset.
Yep.
And I quit arguing with her. I'm like, okay, that's how you believe it to be.
Yeah, I leave people to their own devices at the end of it all.
Rich agrees with her on thing.
Yeah, Rich would agree with her. Rich would be on the side. On that side,
be on the scripture. That's all I would do. I'm not
That's all
looking
that
at the
matters.
mental society and what they say. I'm looking at what the scripture tells me. And if I'm taking that to be my truth, that's nothing but the truth. Now, do I live the life that we live in and people got this? Yes. You continue to do it. Do what you're going to do to make yourself better. But if you're looking, I have seen for myself, as well as others, as well as in scripture, that you can have your mind transformed and renewed. And you can forgive and not remember.
Yeah. I'm going to go on
I guess
record
it's
to
like
say
the person that's been
I
on-
don't see it that way. I just,
I
it don't
guess
make
it's like
sense.
the person
Yeah,
who's been
that
an
math don't math for
alcoholic.
me.
I
Yeah.
guess it's like the person that's been an alcoholic, which that gets truly delivered from alcoholism or drugs, and they have no desire, no
They
interest.
don't know what the taste is no
They don't
more.
know what the taste feels
No.
like. And I know somebody like that.
I
He was a
got
crack
you,
addict,
but I
and
would
he don't
argue
even
it's not
remember
the
what it
same
feels like.
thing.
It tastes like.
Yeah.
Alcohol. He don't even remember what alcohol tastes like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you speak. He's like, bro, I honestly don't
I don't even
have
know
to
what
remember
it
what
is.
the taste
What you do? Oh,
But I get with Zeke. It's a tough
Yeah, that
situation.
just, that
But go
just,
ahead.
yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
it depends on the person's level of belief.
Yeah, yeah.
It
The brain
depends
is
on
the,
how
you got this
we
natural
all
human.
mature in faith in different ways. It's how I look at it. We're on different levels of it. I think it's your maturity factor. And so
Really?
absolutely, you mature in faith from faith to faith. Everybody is not on the same level. That's scripture wise. You can tell. You can see it
So-
in everyday life. Some
But I
people
don't think that
believe
remembering things that happen to you is a lack of faith. That just doesn't make sense to me. I just can't see that. I just don't think that remembering things that happen to you is a show of a lack of faith. I think
Where
if
that come
anything, what do you? Because we're talking about the literal forgetfulness, right? So then you said that faith of maturity is the ability to be able to put it now out. So I'm saying I don't know that shows a.
When I say maturity level, I'm talking about in this subject specifically having my mind transformed. Right?
Right.
And if in the mind of Christ, if that's my goal, is you let this mind of Christ be in you.
Facts.
My mind of Christ ain't remembering sin. It ain't remembering bad things.
Oh, you talking about that? I'm still talking about.
I'm talking about the stuff. You're talking about forgiveness and unforgiveness, right? And you're not
forgiveness,
forgiving what they
unforgiveness,
did
the
to
stuff.
you.
Yeah.
So the mind of Christ doesn't remember those things, is what I'm saying. And if I'm looking to take that on, I'm not going to look to remember what happened. Even if it happened, if I'm taking on the mind of Christ. Now, if I'm still taking on my mind, my flesh, and what I feel and what I think it is, then cool. But if you're looking for the mind of Christ, it's not in it. And
so where does the testimony come from then if you don't remember the sin?
You overcome by it, right? So we gave the testimony to overcome it.
But how do you remember if you literally don't remember? I want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
Literally not remembering. So
Not
if you
remembering
literally
sin.
don't have it in your brain, what testimony do you now have? How do you go back and reach back to others and say, I was once in such and such. I once was a drug addict, but you don't have to you have to have some memory of what it was. I'm not saying you're dwelling on it. I'm not saying going back into it. I'm not saying trying to relive it. I'm saying enough that you can connect with others so that you can go back. You can't literally forget and testify.
That's not what people normally do, though, Zeke.
When we talk about having the mind of Christ and literally forgetting everything,
they dwell in that. They dwell in that. Most people dwell in the problem that happened. They dwell and they deal with it over and they stew in it over and over again. So
I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about them.
Don't forget. And because we tell them don't forget, they never forget. And they stay in the forgetfulness part. My goal is now, how do I get you out of the forgetfulness part that you ain't dwelling in? I'm not saying literally, bro, because I hear what you're saying. You said
and I guess that's how I'm understanding forgive and forget, because that's traditionally how forgive and forget was understood, is to literally forget out of your mind what it is. So then when I hear you saying have the mind of Christ and put it as far as the even though you literally don't remember it no more, I'm saying like we got years and years and years and years on study that's just not practical. That's not a thing. That's not real. The human brain remembers is what it is. So to me, the work of forgiveness is the ability to be able to say, I know what it was. I know what that used to be. I know who I used to be.
Bro, and I do not remember.
You said what?
I know people have done me wrong, bro, and I do not remember what they did.
You know they did something.
I
You
have
don't remember
now
what they did.
renew my mind to just doing the things of Christ and the will of God.
Yeah, that's cool. I got people that did me wrong and I don't remember, so
And
I
I
can
don't
see
remember.
it. But
And
if
so
you
that's
like,
what I'm
if
saying.
you don't feed it, if you don't feed it, you don't remember. But there are some things that change fundamentally, even who you are. They cause you to, if you were raped
Yeah,
before,
that's too much.
and that changes a bit of who you are. So that you have to do the work to get through that. You can't just forget that happened.
Yes.
But you can move forward, even though you know
Yes,
that happened.
listen.
But now you move forward with a testimony. You don't literally
Do you
forget.
think a person can ever forget what happened? Do you think a person could ever forget what happened to him?
No, nor should they. Because now you learn from it. You move forward. You can't just learn from stuff if you don't have the
You got that
experience.
mindset, bro.
You learn God in those experiences. You know what I mean? Like, you know?
I
Whatever
hear
was
you.
there.
I just got a different mindset. I hear you.
Yeah. I
Come on, we got the
I don't know that there's anywhere, and I would love to have that, that dialogue with, but
So
this
pretty
probably be a
much,
good conversation for, would you say, a Zeke Live?
No,
So-
that's it. Give it up for Zeke Locke. That's all I said.
So wait, so pretty much the end.
Well, the
of
reason
this
I'm
is
saying
that-
it, well, go ahead, E. Go ahead. Because then we do
the
got to
end
go,
result
y'all. We
is,
over.
Rich, you believe 100% what the word says about this subject, and that human philosophy or our human, thinking does not dictate what the word says. Is that what you're saying, Rich? It's like the word says this is what it is, and that's that, right?
I just
That's
think
your ultimate.
we limit the word of God at times
That's the thing.
and how it can change your life based on what we know knowledge to be in mental state, in society, what they tell us. And my thing is, either we believe the power of God to change it or we don't. If we don't and we want to figure out how do we manage it, then yes, there's a lot of support things to help you manage these things. But when I'm looking at scripture, and if I'm believing God for something, I'm going to believe this thing, and it's promoting to transform my mind. Well, I can forget those things so it doesn't hold me down. Forgetting those things which are behind me, I press toward the mark. I know Zeke said he got something to go with that scripture, but I'm just saying that's what I look at. I forget it. So that's my scripture with it. So that's my belief with it. Now, those that have a difference, I love you, respect you, and I hope you get through whatever it is that you're getting through. But with what I'm going through, I couldn't keep on remembering what they said. I wanted to forget what they did. I wanted to get it out of my mind. And so the way I was able to do it, I read scripture after scripture. I looked at scripture. I paid attention more to that than the pain that I felt. And once I got that through my mind, I can forget those things which are behind me, because my goal now is to press towards him and what he wants. I ain't worried about what you saying. I ain't worried about what you did to me. I don't have to remember it no more. It's far beyond me because I'm so far gone with God. Your stuff don't mean nothing to me now. What you did don't mean nothing to me now. Not saying you won't remember any of it, but it's not the focus anymore. I don't care. And many times we put so much energy into what people did, it causes us not to pursue going forward. So I am a person that gives less energy to that part of the life. And I'm looking more to what more God has for me in this life. Because that was just temporary. That's just a part of my life. It's not the whole being of who I am and who God has called me to be. And if I get stuck focused on what they did to me back then, I will stay that person I was back then. It'll be challenging to become and unlock what God wants you to be. So that's why I'm passionate about it. So y'all see how it is. This is just how we talk.
I know folks gonna think that like we was back at Olivet, remember?
I know. Why we hating each other?
Talk about Kirk Franklin ain't the great. Don't mind.
Yeah.
But on that point, I would agree. I think we actually arrived at the exact same place.
I agree too. We landed together.
Yeah. I think we.
You landed close on the runway, some different runways, but you got to the same destination. You both landed
at the airport.
You got to the airport.
All right, y'all. Since we have definitely gone over. We done gone over. You said what?
The soup. Oh, we ain't that bad. It's 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, we ain't that bad. I'm trying to keep us on time, and I've not been successful like
We
the
gonna stay
last
on time this
week.
week.
So we'll see. I'm saying we'll see, and then look at that. You're right. We'll stay on time this week. We're gonna stay on time this week. But people stuck in with us this whole time, y'all. We still got viewers actually.
What's up, y'all?
They stuck in with us. Man.
Let us know what y'all feel. Y'all like the Z comment? Y'all like my comment? Eric comment? Let us know, man. We want to know. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Leave comments.
Impact.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, y'all, we got to get out of here. I'm pulling eyelashes out of my eyes, and I got to Zoom in 20 minutes. So, so all that, right? That part. Let's go around the round table real quick. I want to say thank you to everybody who joined in with us. Eric, go ahead and give the people a final cool word.
All right. Well, you all heard how we feel about forgiveness, so we want to hear from you. Please put in the comments, even after this goes off, about forgiveness. But just know that if you stand, God can forgive you, and He can deliver and change your life. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. We thank you for your love. Keep sharing. Zeke and Rich. So tomorrow I won't be here in person. I'll be back on Friday. Yeah, you good. Whatever you're doing.
I don't know. I keep pressing the wrong button.
But thank y'all. I'm good.
I'm trying to solo Eric, and then I'm like, I lost Rich, and I'm like, what happened to Rich?
What's up, y'all? Hope something was said today to encourage you, to help you on your day. Hey, listen, man, forgiveness is a real thing. I want you to take the time to focus on what is it that I need to do to really forgive. Because at the end of the day, we want you to pursue your passions and pursue your goals and not be bound by just being in unforgiveness. So I pray something was said. Life is choice driven. Like I always say, you will live and die by the choices you choose to make. I got a hint for you. Choose life. God, thank you for everybody that listened. Thank you for this community of believers. Thank you for the saints and the ain'ts. We give God praise for all of them. Thank you for the words that was said. Hopefully something was impactful today that was said, and that leaves a mark that will not be erased. Let them experience this as the best week they've ever experienced. Until we meet again. See y'all next time. Amen.
Hey. Y'all, today was an amazing day. Hold on, I'm looking for it, y'all. I'm looking for it. There you go. Eric, your mama said superb podcast. Y'all, she ain't never used that word. She just superb podcast.
She's getting new words every day.
Man, we up. Get it, my God, superb. Jeez. Yo, shout out to everybody. I want to say I appreciate all of y'all for locking in with us. Please, if you have not already done all the things, subscribe, follow, share, like. Thank y'all for getting involved in the conversation as well. You know, we talked a lot about the stuff we ain't taking into this week. So we ain't taking all the negativity and all the other stuff into this week. We only taking good stuff. So we're thinking on good things all this week. I appreciate each one of y'all. Let us go ahead and get up out of here. But hold on, wait. Let me feel that beat one more time if I can find it. There you go. Just there you go. Hey, Rich Holmes, I don't think the people know that's you in the background on that song right there. I don't think they know that's you on the background singing that ayo.
I say ayo like me. Ayo. Y'all hear that? Come on.
Oh shoot, okay, we gotta go. I'm about to start a whole nother discussion. Like Doc, I stole your All right, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Y'all have a good week. A good day, or not a good week. We're gonna be back tomorrow in the morning. So let's see y'all. Jamaica Lachey will be with us. Peace out. Doc, you going over to the movie set? I think I'm gonna come over where y'all at.
Yeah, I was tonight. I'm doing the one tonight.
Oh, it's tonight. Okay. Is that when I'm
doing the night one.
Okay.
Make it that now.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well, I got a Zoom. I got like 2 Zooms. So all right, y'all. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.